and also in New Bern on Glenburnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome Inside the Booth. Legendary broadcasters are always fun to talk about. And wait until I tell you about this gentleman. That's coming up next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Mize delivers. Stewart swings. This is a tall shot out towards right field, going back. The flag court is a frenzy, and it's anybody's ball because it's a DJ Stewart home run. 8th home run for DJ Stewart, and the Orioles are going to force their way back into this one on the long ball. It's cut in half. They trail 6-3.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
His name is Jim Weber. You've probably never heard of him. He's the voice of the Toledo Mudhens in his 44th year. And get this, he's never missed a game. Over 6,000 consecutive baseball games. Can you imagine? He started behind the mic in Toledo in 1975. And speaking of Toledo, the Mudhens have been around forever, starting in 1896. Remember when Jamie Farr incorporated the Mudhens in his MASH character? On a personal note, an old high school teammate, Chris Hardman, has spent 43 years as the head baseball coach at Ottawa Hills High School, a Toledo suburb. They've named the field after Chris. He's had a remarkable run, including a state championship, just like the incomparable run Jim Weber has had as the voice of the Mudhens. Jim is 67, Chris is 70. Retirement is not in their vocabulary. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit Inside the Booth.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome in to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. We are online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube, as I did yesterday. Thanks to modern technology, I watched Pirate Radio Live on YouTube. You can subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube and catch this show, The Brian Bailey Show. And we dropped a new episode of Pirate Radio Trivia earlier today. It's all available for you at Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. Also, our post-practice interviews with the coaches and the players from East Carolina as we get you ready for Pirate football. And I'm going to have Shirley and Chandler tell me what I've missed over the last few days. Great to be back with you here inside the Pirate Radio studios for a new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up on today's show, we'll have our weekly chat with Weave. Billy Weaver will join me, I believe, here in the Pirate Radio studios on this Tuesday. So we'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports with Weave a little later on this hour. At 4 o'clock, we'll talk all things football with Antwan Staley. He'll join us on the Fixed NC Live line to talk college football and NFL. We'll have a hearty discussion about that at 4 o'clock. At 4:30, we'll put some ranch on it with Perry Owens, head football coach of the Washington Pan Pack. What's it like to go from the hunter to the hunted? We'll find out, as a lot of folks say in Washington will have a strong fall season, just like their spring campaign. Looking forward to Perry Owens. He's awesome to talk to. We'll check in with him at around 4:30. And at 5 o'clock, Stephen Igoe hoists the colors. We'll have our Bud Light ECU report talk about what's been going on the practice fields as we continue to get closer to kickoff. East Carolina and Appalachian State coming up Thursday, September 2nd. And is the count at 16 days now? Is that right? That is wild. And it is here. It is coming, folks. And we're excited about it here at Pirate Radio. All right, Shirley, Chandler, good to see you folks again.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Glad to be here. We have an intern hanging out, too.
We actually have intern Jalen with us today.
So. I have not met you yet. What's up, Jalen?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Clipper.
Is that a Washington Pam Pack shirt?
Yes. It is. Max Scherzer. Oh, no, it's Max Scherzer.
Nationals.
The Nationals.
Never mind. Yeah. Wait.
At least we still have him.
No. Wait. Shouldn't you get a Dodgers Max Scherzer shirt? Or?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was thinking of Steven Strasburg.
All right. I do want to talk baseball because I think when I left town, the Braves were like 4 games back, and now they're a game and a half up in the NL East. We'll get to that momentarily. But, guys, let's talk about what I've missed. I know I missed a great Pirate Radio Live on Monday, the Players Lounge, the debut, and I missed it in the way that I wasn't here physically, but I was able to check it out on YouTube. And, man, it was really cool to hear from Holden Ahlers, DJ Ford, Rajay Harris, Tyler Sneed, Bruce Bivens, Xavier Smith, CJ Johnson. And those guys were great yesterday, getting to know them.
Yeah, it was fun having them in the studio for the first time. The kickoff to our Players Lounge edition on Monday. And the guys, I think they had a good time being in here, getting away from the practice field, being able to talk about themselves, what they like to do off the football field. At first I could kind of tell they were, kind of shy in front of the camera, behind the mic. But as the conversation, Troy did a good job of, leading those guys through the conversation, and you can see them getting, more comfortable. And but yeah, it was fun to get to know them yesterday and get a little inside scoop from the football field.
Some are shy. Xavier Smith, not one of them.
No, he's not.
Great personality.
Maybe has a future in radio.
He could. He's got
a great voice.
He does. He's got a great voice. He's got a good sense of humor. Big fan of Xavier Smith. And look, everything's great right now. August really is sneaky, like best sports month, because you are, your expectations are high for your team. They haven't lost a game yet, so everything's good. Everything's positive. You can twist your brain into thinking your team can win a championship this year, but then Chandler, week 1, when Sam Darnold throws the second interception, reality hits. When Tua stinks, reality's going to hit, Shirley.
Oh, shoot. Reality hits before the first game. What are you talking about? If you're a Dolphins fan, reality has hit like in game 2 of the preseason.
What if it was reverse, where you had low expectations?
Well, you don't, though.
No, you always have high expectations, just like
There's
you do
some days
with the
where I
Washington
have high
football team when you
expectations.
head into every season.
There's some days I have high expectations. There's some that I have low expectations.
Unless you're a Dolphins fan, which you have no expectations.
Jalen, you have a favorite? Does he have a favorite NFL team? NFL?
What do you say?
NFL, what you got?
Who's your favorite
Carolina
team?
Panthers.
You're a Panthers guy?
Yeah.
What are your expectations this year? Let's get Jalen right on the mic. I like it.
Just 17 game
Yeah.
season. I'm hoping to go over 500 this year, at least a couple games over 500.
9-8, 10-7. Is that realistic?
I hope
I think so. In that division, the Falcons are going to stink, right?
they are.
The Saints could stink, depending on their quarterback situation.
Winston, yeah. Taysom Hill, we'll see.
Yeah. So again, like everybody, and the same can be said for East Carolina football. And Chandler, the Pirates will take the field against App State, South Carolina, Marshall. The more I think about it, the more I think East Carolina needs to go 2-2. You got a shot for 6 wins. I think anything less than that, I start to get nervous. You gotta, because you're gonna beat Charleston Southern.
Yeah, I was actually listening to Troy and Phil Steele, and even Phil Steele said that that's a big game for East Carolina if they want to go to a bowl game. Start with App State.
It is,
and then
it's
that
huge.
week 2 game against South Carolina is not only a big game for East Carolina, it's also a good game or a big game for South Carolina. Shane Beamer, the first-year head coach for the Gamecocks, coming to Greenville. So
and they have I think they got a cupcake week 1, so it'll be like their first real road test with Shane Beamer.
Yeah, so those first 2 games of the season are very pivotal of where the Pirates want to be this year, and especially if they want to go to that bowl game that we haven't seen since the 2014 season. So, and it all starts on that Thursday night at 7:30 in Bank of America Stadium against App State. So we'll see, but it's one game at a time. So hopefully we can get through App State with a win and then come back home to a packed Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. We'll have some heroes in the stands that day against South Carolina. Bill Clark Holmes announcing, Mike Houston announcing yesterday that Bill Clark Holmes is donating 6,000 tickets in the Town Bank Towers. So
every ticket sold in the upper deck, right?
Right.
For East Carolina and South Carolina on September 11th. Point being, just enjoy this time. Like we had just concluded our slow fantasy draft today that we do via text. My fantasy team's undefeated, ECU's undefeated, Washington's undefeated. Enjoy these times. These moments are good.
Right.
Shannon.
I agree.
All right. And then in September, reality hits.
Yeah.
And it could be good or it could be bad once the games start being played. All right. What else did I miss? Great show yesterday. I missed the first scrimmage, and we'll talk to Igoe about it later on, but the consensus was the defense won.
Defense was dominant on Saturday, I believe. That's what I heard. Is hearing from the guys yesterday, Xavier Smith and Bruce Bivens.
Well, of course they're going to say they won.
Well, yeah, and Holton. We'll see. Holton was in here with DJ Ford, so it was the offense versus the defense segment there. And according to Holton, that there were some things that they needed to pick up on and correct. But DJ kind of went on to say that the defense looked pretty good and that Coach Blake Harrell was satisfied. But of course, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, we'll talk to Igoe about what's been going on the practice fields. We got Media Day coming up Saturday, one of my favorite days of the year. Although we're having these players on every Monday now, maybe it's not as crucial to be able to talk to the Pirate football players, but we will be doing that on Saturday. We'll have video, audio, we'll have that covered for you coming up this week. Meet the Pirates also this Saturday. So, and the
equipment sale.
The equipment sale.
That's where you'll find me.
What do you remember what time that is? I know John Gilbert was on with Bailey yesterday. We'll have that info for you.
Hold on one second. I'll pull it up because I need to know myself because I need to know what time I need to park my behind in line.
Because whatever time it starts, you might want to be there at least an hour before.
Oh no, you'll find me at least 2 hours early.
I still have a sweet track jacket that I got at an equipment sale. Where did I get my stepson? I got him something really cool. Was it basketball short? No, it was ECU baseball jacket, from one of the coaches, I guess, one that they wore.
I got ECU basketball shorts one year. I got a baseball bat, and the number on the knob of the bat was 8, so I'm assuming it was Turner Brown. I think it was freshman year Turner Brown. So I remember going back to my high school baseball team and going, this bat has been used in a Division I baseball game for an ECU Pirate.
Okay.
Were you the coolest kid in school?
I was the coolest cat in town.
Equipment sale starts at 9 a.m. And
get there early. Line up.
I'm gonna be out there with my chair.
Shirley, what items are you looking for?
I don't know. I usually let's see. One year I got a couple of pairs of tennis shoes, and some softball gear. Like some sweatpants.
It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, and I think I got a pair of basketball shorts one year. I go through some of the they had some bats and some bat bags and things like that. Because I do travel ball with my team.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. I dabble every now and then.
I wonder if they'll have new football unis or they'll have football unis to sell since we have new uniforms.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I remember getting my basketball shorts from an equipment sale that one year, and every time I would go in the backyard to shoot basketball, I'd make sure I wore those basketball shorts.
That's one of the best stories I've ever heard, Chad.
Cool, neat story.
You're full of great stories today, man.
I know. I just can't stop.
He is talkative today.
I really missed being around you.
He's talkative, and I'm just eating.
Shirley's enjoying her milkshake, which is bringing all the boys to the yard.
Well, there are a lot of boys in the yard at the Mo.
All right, Pirates in the pros. How about kicking controversy in Baltimore?
Possible.
How about a kicking controversy in Carolina? And I want Jake Verity right this minute.
So is Joey Sly not good? I just drafted him in my last pick.
I'm so sorry, Clipper.
Did he get cut?
He missed like 2 field goals and an extra point on Sunday.
Who's your other kicker?
Don't have one.
Oh, really? He's the only guy.
Pretty sure.
No competition? Well, you know what the Ravens are going to do? They've done this in the past. Since Justin Tucker's been there, they've been able to trade the kicker on their roster for a draft pick. Like, this is what they do. John Harbaugh is Mr. Special Teams, right? Mm-hmm. So they say, wait, he's got this other kicker. This guy's probably good. We need him. So they can they'll turn Jake Verity, who they picked up, into a draft pick, a future draft pick.
Yeah, Jake Verity right now is playing for 31 other teams. He's trying out for the National Football League right now. He's just for the Baltimore Ravens. So.
When he joined us on the show, before he got picked up, he said his favorite kicker to watch is Justin Tucker, is the best kicker maybe ever. And then he ends up on that team. Realistically, he's not going to beat out the best kicker in the NFL. So he's having an audition, and the other night he goes 2 for 2, hit a 50+ yarder.
Yeah,
and that's awesome for him. So we could see him potentially landing with another team, maybe the Panthers. That'd be awesome.
That would be great. And Joey Sly in the past few years has been kind of reliable. He's gone downhill the past year and a half or so, and it's showing already. It started on Sunday. Very inconsistent. So if the Panthers do have to go a different way, I hope they have their eyes set on Jake Verity. He's doing very well right now for the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, some bad news. And, man, Blake Prohl, it seemed like every day at Vikings camp I was seeing a new Blake Prohl highlight where he was getting open, catching the ball, and making plays, and certainly making Zimmer and the coaching staff recognize that he would be a valuable player to make that roster. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury. It was a non-contact injury during joint practices.
That's never good.
With the Broncos. Yeah, anytime you see a guy go down without contact, it is not good. And this is the business side of football. This is the life isn't fair side. He was waived by the Vikings, and hopefully he can heal up and find another landing spot next year. It kind of reminds me of Lance Lewis, who joined on with my Washington Redskins, what they were once called, and he was playing pretty well, and he got hurt in the preseason. And these undrafted guys, once they get hurt, it's so hard to make it back because there's no, you're not tied to them financially or anything. They don't have a long-term contract, so they're easy to just let walk, and you really got to fight back, and hopefully Blake Prohl can do that. I know he was doing very well this offseason for the Vikings.
Yeah, right before he got hurt, there was a video of him shaking somebody out of their shoes and catching a ball in the back of the end zone. And the ball was kind of thrown a little high, so he had to go up there and get it, and he was able to tap both feet in. And I was like, man, he really is looking really good. And there was actually, I think, a scrimmage similar to what the Panthers do with Fan Fest, where they kind of scrimmage each other. And there was a catch he made on the sideline, and it was to the approval of Kirk Cousins, where he went over there and was saying, he caught the ball. And I was like, man, I said, Blake Prohl is really – and I was very uncertain about his status in the NFL when he, decided to go on. I was like, maybe he should just stay and develop one more year here at East Carolina. But he was proving a lot of people wrong, and including me, and was looking really good in training camp for the Vikings. But unfortunately, stuff like this happens, and unfortunately it happened to Blake Prohl.
And more bad news, Justin Hardy, surely you brought this to my attention. He was released by the Bears. He had one catch for 15 yards on one target for the Bears in their preseason win over Miami over the weekend. But Justin Hardy, once again, a free agent.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Justin, it was just one of those situations where he was among quite a few wide receivers that the Bears had brought in to kind of create some competition at that level. And, I mean, you had guys that were almost 5 or 6 deep in one position battling for 3 open spots. So it just didn't work out for Justin, and hopefully he did enough at Bears camp that maybe somebody else might be paying attention and might want to reach out to him, because it's been 2 years since he had played in an NFL game, and I follow him on social media, and he stays in shape. I mean, he stays prepared. Just unfortunately, just one of those situations where he got cut. So another that is kind of sitting on the bubble right now is Garrett McGinn, who is down in Jacksonville. He has been struggling with a new coaching staff and Urban Meyer. So he is potentially, I guess you could say, on the bubble to not survive a roster cut. So
he could be joining Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tim Tebow was released earlier today, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. So right now, as far as guys making the roster, I will tell you one guy who's really kind of piqued the interest of a lot of folks up in Cincinnati, and that is Deontay Smith. His preseason camp, just like with Blake Prohl, really turned a lot of heads as far as their coaches go. And with Deontay, they decided to try him at left guard, which is a position that he has not played in quite some time. He only has a handful of games where he actually played in that position, but he's picked it up pretty quickly.
And hadn't played really any football in 2 years.
Yeah, you're right.
We posted on our social media platforms of him, going out, and this shows you how athletic these offensive linemen are, and that's the pull play that these offensive linemen have to do. And he pulled to the left side one time and laid a really good block for a running back for Cincinnati. So plays like that will get you on an NFL roster quick.
Yeah, and of course a little bit of luck has to be involved as well. With Deontay, what the situation was is that he was actually, I think, the number 2 or number 3 guy, and then the left guard got injured, and so they decided that they were going to move some people around, and since he's been moved over there, he has actually really kind of honed his craft a little bit. Now, he's still rough around the edges. Even the coaches will tell you that. But they see a lot of potential with Deontay, and he is his preseason numbers were, I think his last preseason game that he played in, his percentage rate as far as how they grade him was somewhere around 86%, which is not bad for somebody who hasn't really played that position a great deal. So Deontay has a very good shot of making an NFL roster when all the cuts are said and done.
Some good numbers the other night for Zay Jones. Is that a good thing that he's playing that much in the preseason as a veteran?
Yeah.
Or
usually your veteran guys, the guys that are going to give you a lot of reps in the regular season, are not going to see a lot of action in the preseason play. And Zay Jones is opposite. He's getting a lot of action, but he's been getting a lot of praise from John Gruden, the head coach for the Raiders. So
John has always liked him, ever since he came over to the Raiders. But I think what you're seeing now is kind of like a situation where he's starting to develop a relationship with the quarterback, and he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable in that position. I'm not saying he wasn't comfortable in years past, but I think he just had some difficulties with some drop passes in some situations. But I can see if you read his preseason, not just his preseason numbers, but in terms of camp, he's not dropped a pass that has been thrown to him.
Which is hard to do when your quarterback is Nathan Peterman,
exactly,
who was the quarterback for the Raiders. Oof. Looking at the unofficial depth chart, you got Ruggs, who was a high draft pick, so he's going to be a starter. Brian Edwards looks like he's going to be a good receiver. Hunter Renfrow in the slot. The backups are solid. I mean, John Brown, Willie Snead, who's a veteran now, and Zay Jones listed as the backup. So that is a crowded wide receiver room with no true standouts. You've got potential with Ruggs and Edwards, but
is it Ruggs or is it Riggs?
Ruggs.
It's Ruggs.
The third?
Yeah.
Oh, for some
you got
reason,
the third right.
No. I just it's
Henry the third. Like
I thought they had.
I thought it was Henry Riggs. That's why I was getting confused when you said Ruggs. I was like, I could have sworn it was Henry Riggs the third.
It's not.
All right.
Nelson Aguilar is a member of the New England Patriots. Maybe I should do a category on that at trivia tomorrow.
Go for it.
Who do these guys play for currently? Might be a good idea, Chandler.
Okay.
Speaking of Pirates and the pros, I mean, we've kind of concentrated on football, but we do have a little bit of baseball news, and that is that Mike Wright has been called up to the Chicago White Sox, which, by the way, are playing some pretty decent baseball right now. So he got called up yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
And we got some news about Connor Norby as well.
Yes, he has now been promoted up to the Delmarva Shorebirds, which is the low A affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. And, of course, we knew that was going to happen. They told Connor he would go to kind of like a rookie rookie league, so to speak. They call it the Florida Coast League. I think it's the FCL and the ACL. The Arizona Cactus League, I think it's called. But anyway, so they play down there, but they told him their expectations of Connor would be, before the season was out, he was going to end up going into the minors, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. Delmarva has him. And a lot of these teams, with the exception of a handful of AAA teams, did not, Mondays are typically their day off. So we'll have a minor league report for you coming up tomorrow.
They do not play the Wood Ducks the remainder of the year. Delmarva right now is second in the North Division. The Wood Ducks are second in the Central Division. So, Wood Ducks they're a game and a half back of the Mudcats. Delmarva 4 games back, so probably not realistic that they're going to win, but still potential to see Norby play at Kinston this year if they were to meet in the postseason.
That would be super cool.
Just throwing that out there. If that happens, we'll be there checking out Connor Norby. All right, let's see. Anything else? We'll get to our preseason stuff when Weave's here. MLB update. I just want to do this to say that the Atlanta Braves, without Ronald Acuna Jr., with Marcelo Zuna and his domestic issues and injury, Ian Anderson hurt, Yanoa hurt, it doesn't matter. The NL East stinks, and the Braves have caught the Mets and the Phillies and taken over first place.
Congratulations.
And now we can go to break. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's
so we're
all you
going to
need
break
know.
then.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
The Atlanta Braves are 63 and 56, first place in the East. Shirley's Red Sox, they've won 3 in a row, Shirley, but still back 3.5 games behind the Rays.
But it's manageable.
Yeah. Where's me and Jalen's Nationals?
They have Juan Soto and who else on that roster?
Ryan Zimmerman.
Is he going to play forever?
Potentially.
Has he announced his, this is my last year?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just going to keep playing.
It's like a Rob Gronkowski thing. He's just
year by year?
Year by year. One year contracts after another.
What he needs to do is pull a Rob Gronkowski and go to a good team to finish his career. He's not going to be around for another Nats rebuild.
No, and the year after we won the World Series, I thought that was it.
Yeah,
I thought
go out on top.
Right, go out on top and just be done. But no, we're 3 years removed from that. So,
all right, let's get
wait. Did you say that Yanoa was hurt?
No, he's coming back. He's starting tonight, right?
I was going to say, yeah, they've got him slated starting tonight.
He has not pitched since he. I don't know if he broke his hand, but he punched something in the dugout.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Don't do that.
That's like trying to punch a football player with a helmet on.
Don't fight with the helmet on. Don't punch an inanimate object. If you're gonna
inanimate,
and is that it? Inanimate?
Yes.
Okay. If you're gonna do that, go Big Papi, get a baseball bat, and just go to town on the phone.
Go to town on the phone, the Gatorade cooler.
That's the
bubble gum bucket.
All right, we'll take a time out, come back. Billy Weaver joins us on the other side. We'll talk Pirate football and more when we return after this.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Enclave and save over $5,250 or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelves and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Baseball is back, and the Wood Ducks have so much in store this season. We have dollar beer every Thursday, presented by Natural Light. Mother Earth Friday with discounted beer prices. Giveaways and Pepsi Saturdays plus Sundays are Dogs and Dogs Days, presented by Riverbank Animal Hospital and Friendly Mart Food Stores. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance or online at woodducksbaseball.com or by calling Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. Go Woodies!
Have you been waiting to try CBD? ENS Hemp on Fire Tower Road in Greenville is the area leader in CBD. We want to educate you on how our products work with your endocannabinoid system. These products are all natural and non-addictive. ENS offers a variety of products to meet your needs. Tinctures, edibles, topicals, and even smokable items. Customer feedback indicates relief from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. ENS Hemp is located on Fire Tower Road. Also, check us out on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Unfortunately, many organizations today simply react to IT issues after the damage is done. This is known as the break-fix cycle in the tech service industry. University PC Care's Business Services Division has a better way, a proactive solution called BizCare. What's at your office? Call William at University PC Care today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Great to be back with you after having a few days away from the microphone. And Billy Weaver has had a week away from the microphone, but he joins us on his Tuesday appearance here on Pirate Radio Live. Weave, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Clip.
Good to see the beard.
Nice, huh?
That is a nice beard.
Thank you.
I guess when
I can do that now.
When you're a TV guy, you got to stay smooth shaved. Now you can.
I can do what I want.
The world is your oyster. Is that the phrase? But we've good to see you in studio, and it's time. 16 days away from
I know
kickoff.
that's awesome. That is so cool. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really, really looking forward to Pirate football this year for a couple of reasons. But the biggest reason is because there's optimism surrounding the program. There's a lot of excitement, and more importantly, there's going to be what we think a lot of fans in the stands.
Yeah, especially September 11th with Mike Houston announcing that Bill Clark has purchased all of the seats in the upper deck and will be distributing those out to first responders.
That's awesome.
Medical people in the medical industry. So that is fantastic to know that those seats, hopefully most, if not all, will be full. And I don't know, Weave, how much, in your opinion, does it depend on what happens against App State, the crowd for that game, too?
I think the only way it really affects the fans, like if they don't show up as much as you think, is if East Carolina goes in there and gets blown out by App State. I think even if they lose that game, there's so much excitement and there's so much that people just want to go to Pirate football and be at Dowdy Ficklen
for the first time in a long time.
For the first time in a long time. And I think there's so much excitement there that the Pirates could even survive a loss to App State, a close loss, on the road. But I think if they got blown out by App State, then that might hurt the gate a little bit.
You win that game against App State, everybody, it's a party for the week leading up to that South Carolina game.
And it doesn't matter if it's a 1-point win or a 20-point win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's excitement. You're 1-0 going into a game against South Carolina, who's got a brand new head coach. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Shane Beamer's name brought up as one of the potential candidates for head coach at ECU back when, was it before Mo?
Yeah, I feel like hired? It was that one because, and maybe even a little bit when Houston was hired, but the Houston thing just happened so fast. It was like, we have our guy, we want our guy, we got our guy. Shane Beamer's name definitely, and I still don't know, Weave. I would love to see a 30 for 30 on that hiring process.
Yeah,
Scotty Montgomery definitely wasn't the first choice.
No,
And, who even was in Jeff Comfer's Rolodex or list of candidates? I don't know.
That would be a good 30 for 30, actually. And, I think a lot of when Shane Beamer's name was kind of floated out there was a lot of people in Pirate Nation that kind of turned up their nose to it. He didn't have a whole lot of experience. He had the name of course, his famous dad at Virginia Tech. So Shane Beamer wasn't, I guess, kind of that flashy, sexy hire. But I think he's going to be good for South Carolina. I really do.
I guess at that time, Billy, he was the assistant head coach, running backs coach at Virginia Tech, 2011 through 15. So that would have been his spot there. He's been at South Carolina previously. And this has nothing to do with Beamer and how he would have done, but it did remind me of Skip Holtz, right?
Right.
Now, he did have head coaching experience.
Right, but still, even then, a lot of people at East Carolina were not really thrilled about the name Skip Holtz before he came here. He was the UConn head coach and done, great things up at UConn, but he wasn't that sexy hire. He had the name, but he wasn't really that proven. I mean, a little bit different with Shane Beamer, obviously, and Skip Holtz, because like you said, Skip was a head coach before coming to East Carolina. Shane was not. But it's just that kind of thing that people are like, is it just because he's got a name?
Yeah, the nepotism. This guy, he's no Lou and all that.
Right.
And turns out was a fantastic football coach, put together a great staff. That's another thing, too, when you make these hires. If you bring a guy that is in a spot where he is a head coach, he's got a ready-made staff to come with him. You bring in these guys that are assistants. That's one of the biggest talking points at the negotiations, right? Who's your assistant? Like who's your O coordinator, D coordinator? Who are you going to bring in with you?
Well, look at the two guys that you're talking about too, and John Thompson and Scotty Montgomery, both assistant coaches. And if you think about it, during their tenures, those two guys didn't have great assistant coaches under him. Skip Holtz had great assistants. Ruffin McNeil had great assistants.
He was able to bring a lot of Texas Tech guys over here.
Absolutely. So that makes a big difference. And we had talked about that so many times that you have to surround yourself in football. You have to surround yourself with good assistant coaches, because if you don't have that experience at the assistant coach level, because the thing is a head coach is there are guys that considered figureheads when they get to a certain point. Nick Saban is like that now, more of a figurehead. Bobby Bowden towards the end of his career. Frank Beamer, speaking of Beamers, those guys were figureheads, and they were more kind of overseers because they'd been there, done that. It's their assistant coaches that are dealing with these players on a daily basis, and those are the guys that are so important and so crucial, is the assistant coaches and having those guys in place that know exactly what to do, been there and done that. John Thompson and Scotty Montgomery, if you looked at the resume and the years of service that the assistant coaches had under them, they just didn't have that experience.
Yeah, and just hearing from the players yesterday, our Players Lounge here on Pirate Radio, I can't remember which player it was, but he was talking about my coach. And he's talking about his position coach. Like he hears from Mike Houston, but the guy in his ear the most is his position coach. Absolutely. I asked Bryce Williams last week what coach got after him the most, and he said Donnie Kirkpatrick because that was his coach. And we Donnie K off the field, and
such a good guy.
And I said, Bryce, I just can't imagine him like just chewing you out. And he's like, trust me, man, he's short fuse. Like he'll joke around at practice too, but if you don't do something you're supposed to, you're going to get it. And so those guys learn and hear from their position coaches, I guess more so maybe than the head coach.
Absolutely. They spend more time with their position coaches than they do the head coach, of course.
Any concern, Weave, when you hear that the defense overwhelmed the ECU offense in scrimmage one?
No, because that's typical of the preseason. Typically offenses kind of lag behind defenses early on because there's more to learn on offense. There's more intricacies. There's more play calling.
There's more things to screw up.
Right. Exactly. It really is. And I'm not undervaluing defense as far as play calling, because there is play calling abilities. There's lining up, there's getting in your right stance, all that stuff on defense. But it's just a different animal. Defense and offense are just different animals. That's just the way it is. There's so much to learn out of the playbook offensively that it's typically, that's very typical in any preseason, is typically right out of the gates, the defense will usually dominate the offense. The offense has to try and catch up from time to time, but I think that's kind of typical.
We hear it in the spring. We also hear it at fall camp leading up to the official practices that these things flip-flop too. So now scrimmage 2, is it going to be the offense who takes a step and looks better than the defense? We shall see.
That's why I just wish there was exhibition games in college football.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. We talk about going from 4 preseason games down to 3 in the NFL. There were too many in the NFL, and people are like, look, there's too many preseason games. You got to cut back on those. The NFL did that, but the problem is on the flip side in college football is you don't have that.
They do it in high school. They do it in the pros.
And you do it in just about every sport. You have baseball, basketball, even basketball now. They do those closed scrimmages where we've heard about
play like Virginia State.
ECU's playing Virginia, and they're like, hey, here's kind of the inside of what happened in that scrimmage.
We lost by 13, but we really
look good. And this guy looked good, and he's playing against an All-American, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But you know what? These guys get tired of beating up on each other, and when like you said, when the offense is playing the defense, do you say, okay, well, the offense played really well, that means our defense stinks, or the defense plays really well, that means the offense stinks, or maybe both of them stink? We don't know. That's why you like to play against another opponent to kind of really get a good handle and a gauge on what your team's going to be like.
And it's got to be a safety issue. If you could do it safely, 7-on-7, and then maybe have your lines doing
NFL
drills.
Does it?
Do the joint practice thing, if nothing else.
And the NFL does that as well, because a lot of people don't realize that they're doing these joint practices, and they're pretty much like a preseason scrimmage. A lot of times they'll half the field. They'll have 2 different scrimmages kind of going on, and they're more of a light practice. And the quarterbacks wear the green jerseys or whatever, so they're not getting hit.
The coaches are on the field like it's Little League.
Absolutely. But you know what? You still get a much better gauge when you're playing against other talent, and
you don't know what they're going to do.
Right?
You know what your teammates going to do every time.
Absolutely, because you're practicing against these guys in the fall. You're practicing in the spring. Even in the off season, when the coaches aren't around, those guys are getting together on their own, going out there. So these guys' intricacies, their idiosyncrasies. All their everything inside and out. You need that element of surprise and the not knowing and the hey, this guy's really good, I gotta up my game. You need that.
Billy Weaver joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. We've NFL preseason week 1 in the books. The Cowboys and Steelers have now played 2 games since they were in the Hall of Fame game. Hey, only 2 preseason games left. I like this 3-week preseason schedule. And Washington will play again this week. They lost their first preseason game to the Patriots. We did see Chase Young sack Cam Newton, which is fun.
Cam made a joke, said he was surprised that Chase wasn't bigger. He thought he was bigger. I think he was making a Roadhouse reference. Do you remember the Roadhouse movie? I thought you'd be bigger. Yeah. But then Cam was. Then
again, Cam is a giant quarterback.
He is.
Everybody's small.
But then when he said that in the post game interviews, I just kidding, just kidding, because I think he knows the talent in everybody.
By the way, that's enough of Chase Young in the preseason. I know he wants to play. We talked about this last week, right?
Right. Yeah.
He wants to play every down. I'm sure. Get him out of there.
Let's get him out.
I wouldn't mind seeing Fitz and of course here we go. This is classic Washington fans, but I saw a lot of is Heineke our best quarterback? Should he be started? Look, I'm not arguing it because he's played well.
He's played very well.
I just don't want a controversy. I mean, Fitzpatrick's our guy, right? Let's stick with that. Move on, and we know he's going to throw 3 interceptions in a game. In that game, you can bring in Heineke.
I agree. Heineke. Yeah, Chase Young likes him. He likes him a lot.
He does. He's got the stamp of approval there.
Who knows? Maybe there's a short leash on Fitz.
Yeah.
Fitz magic. If there's no Fitz magic, if the magic has run out, maybe
I'm so torn on that. Weave seeing him in the jersey is cool.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And he's easy to.
I'm trying to go Fitz.
Yeah, you got a little Fitz in it.
I don't know. He's got that beard's been growing for a while though.
He's so likable. I want to. He seems like a great dude. Like he's so easy to root for. But you just know he's going to screw it up and throw a pick and do the Fitz tragic. There's 2 guys.
You know why though?
Why is that?
That's what happens when you put on the burgundy and gold.
Yeah, well, he's done it in a lot of different colors over his time. So I'm gonna root for him.
Of course.
I hope it goes all right.
I am too, and I hope it goes great. I hope we don't see Heineke at all.
Yeah, that would be a good thing, right?
Good.
Heineke. Chandler is eating something. Sorry, but give me 3 thoughts on the Panthers preseason opener.
PJ Walker looked good.
Is he the backup?
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
PJ Walker started the game on Sunday. It was Will Greer who took the second team snaps. I made sure to watch.
I like Hubbard. Is that the kid?
Hubbard had a great run on 4th and 1.
Yeah,
looked like he was going to get stopped, and he just kind of squirted out of there. And
he was a great college running back.
He was,
and I think he took off last year. I think he took off due to COVID at Oklahoma State.
McCaffrey's not playing any preseason, is he?
At all. I don't think so. We sat our first team starters on
don't blame you at all.
That included first round pick J.C. Horn. He didn't play on Sunday, but I looked at 3rd round pick Brady Christensen, right tackle, who looked really good on Sunday as well. So Brady Christensen I was really impressed with, and then some guys on defense. Troy Pride Jr. is hurt. We got him out of Notre Dame last year. He started, I think, 12 games last year for the Panthers. He's hurt, and then the Panthers actually just traded Greg Little, our 2nd round pick in 2019. But when it comes to this game on Sunday, I was very impressed with PJ Walker and the drives that he was able to establish.
All right, I know you won't be here Friday when Tony's here. He'll be getting ready to call some Whiteville football, right?
Right.
So I wanted to get your Panthers take at some point. All right, let's see. We've NASCAR. A.J. Allmendinger.
Such a great win.
I talked about, do we have any ringers that go up for these events? And I guess
Ringer the Dinger.
He is the Dinger, the Ringer, yeah.
Swinging Dingers?
Thank you, Shirley. The swinging A.J. Allmendingers gets the win.
Just don't yell Dinger too loud.
Is that... Oh, wow. The Rockies deal.
Right,
How crazy was that,
Dinger.
Man? That went
Dinger
from...
the mascot.
Awful to boy,
crazy.
That was wild.
But they call him Dinger. They call
A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, they call him Dinger.
What was the deal with was it Denny Hamlin and Briscoe?
Chase Briscoe. Yeah, that was such a bad deal. Let me tell you what, I loved Denny Hamlin's one of my favorite drivers. Obviously, Chase Elliott's my guy, and Chase Elliott's been doing very well on road courses, has been well documented, but Denny Hamlin's also a very good road course racer. He was in the lead in that race. Now, Chase Briscoe went off the course, and he was forced off the course, and that's fine. When you're forced off the course or off the track or whatever, you're allowed to come back on the track. You're not allowed to advance your position. Now, when he cut across, he got right back door to door with Denny Hamlin. Immediately, NASCAR called a penalty on him. And it was a stop and go penalty because you cannot advance your position. You've got to be able to kind of lay back, get back on the course and get running, no matter what, if you're forced down there or whatever. Now, immediately NASCAR made that distinction. And if you listen to the radio broadcast, the in-car radios, it was made very clear. Briscoe was then behind Denny Hamlin. He says he didn't know that he had gotten a penalty enforced on him. Denny did and knew that he had a stop and go penalty. Briscoe says he was racing for the win, trying to get up there. Well, he accidentally gets into the back of Denny Hamlin, spins him around. Then he has to enforce the penalty, the stop and go. So as a result, Allmendinger ends up winning the race, who probably shouldn't have won the race because of all that going on. Right. So, of course, Denny Hamlin had some words for Chase Briscoe after the race. Briscoe said that he wasn't aware of it. He didn't spin him on purpose. Denny did say that he believes that he didn't spin him on purpose, but he should know better. He should know right then when he got back on the track that he was going to be penalized and he should have laid back. And of course there were 2 laps left to go. There's no reason to race him hard right there at that time anyway. Right. Chase Briscoe said that was kind of a sneaky corner right there that he had discovered, that a lot of people kind of put their guard down in that corner, and there's a passing opportunity there. That's what he was going for, and so he had an excuse, but it's one of those deals. He's a young driver, and Denny said he should have known better.
Well, this is interesting. It reminded me of a tweet from Denny Hamlin. So NASCAR had posted and I can't remember the official, what it's called, the sounds race day. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the in-car audio that you can hear each team's radio broadcast. And
Denny Hamlin quote tweeted and said, "So the 14 didn't know, but yet acknowledged it on the radio." Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha, noted. And I did, and now NASCAR's
looking into it, because if the spotter doesn't relay it to the driver, because the driver doesn't necessarily hear all the radio communications. Drivers will turn those off from time to time, but it's the spotter's obligation. As soon as the penalty is handed down, the spotter has to relay to the driver, hey, you got to stop and go penalty, you got to pull in.
Well, this was tweeted by NASCAR on Fox. It has since been deleted, and Jeff Gluck, who is a NASCAR reporter, says, do we know they matched the timestamps correctly? Is all this in the correct order? Denny Hamlin said no, but they said they played in order of transmission. I was told not to worry about the 14 and turn 7. Anyway, interesting. We've had NASCAR on Fox has deleted the tweet, and you did say they were looking into it, I guess, to see if the spotter and told Briscoe, or Briscoe heard there was a penalty. Is that the
because if Briscoe heard that there was a penalty, then his argument of I was just trying to race him and trying to pass him in that turn, and I wasn't trying to retaliate, because it was Hamlin that basically ran him off the track. I mean, they were racing. It was a racing kind of deal, but it looked like at first glance that was a retaliation.
Right.
But Briscoe says it wasn't. Now, if Briscoe knew before spinning Hamlin out that he had a stop and go penalty, then that's obviously a retaliation, and he's not telling the truth. But I mean, who's to know?
This week,
and everything happens so fast.
Yeah,
I mean, this is all happening within a matter of seconds.
This week they'll be in Michigan, and then the following race, Daytona, and that'll be the final race before the playoffs begin. So there you go.
It's going to be fun. Michigan's always one of those fun tracks. Drivers like it because it's one of the fastest speedways on the circuit. It's a 2-mile track, and it's not a super speedway. It's not considered a super speedway like Daytona and Talladega, so there's no restrictor plate racing or anything like that. So speeds for qualifying get up over 200 miles an hour, and going into the turns, they're at 215, 220 sometimes. So it's a very fast, because it's such a wide speedway, and the banking's about 18 degrees there. So it's not typically high banking, but it's enough banking to hold speeds there. So it's a very fast speedway, and a guy that's loving this coming up is Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick's won the last 2 races there, 3 of the last 4, and he's in the 15th spot right now in the Cup playoffs. Of course, the top 16 make it into the playoffs. He's in the number 15 spot, and he doesn't have a win. So if he gets a win, he's automatically in the playoffs. So he's probably the favorite and is kind of licking his chops right now. But Kyle Larson is a guy he's in the lead right now in the Cup standings, and he won, I think, in 2016 and 17, 3 consecutive races.
And he has been the best driver in 2021.
Yeah, so I think it's going to come down to Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson if history proves correctly.
And I love to look ahead and talk about great stretches coming up. How about the next races? Michigan, Daytona, Darlington, Richmond, Bristol, Las Vegas. Is that a good one?
Yeah, I like Las Vegas.
Because after that is Talladega.
Yeah.
So that is a hell of a...
It is. And you know what? I applaud NASCAR for putting some of the tougher and the more fan-friendly tracks into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Instead of your Texases, Kansas, Chicago's, all that. You know what? People got bored with those cookie-cutter mile-and-a-half tracks. You got a Talladega in there. You've got your short tracks. You've got Darlington, I think, is the coolest one, and that kicks off the playoffs. It's the old lady in black, the track too tough to tame. The drivers absolutely love it because it's a driver's track. You don't have to worry about the competition as much as you have to worry about the track itself. If you don't respect that track, it'll take you out in a heartbeat. And the drivers love that.
That'll be awesome. After week 1 of college football, a full day on Saturday, you get some Sunday night racing in at Darlington to start the playoffs.
It's going to be so cool. I love that.
All right, Weave, thanks for hanging out, man.
Not a problem.
Enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon. Bo Bats said, "Tell Billy his sandwiches are great."
There you go.
And Bo,
I knew we'd get a Billy's Beach breakfast in there.
Hey, Bo, we need some peanuts around here.
Hey.
Oh, calling out Bo.
Hey, now.
I'm just saying.
Bo.
We ran out.
By the way, Bo Bats scheduled to appear next Monday.
Hey!
We'll be getting our peanuts and candy and all the...
Bo never comes to this studio empty-handed.
All the Santa Bo will come join us.
What is it? What's the saying? If candy and nuts were... What is it?
Ifs and buts for candy and nuts.
Yeah. It just kind of reminded me when y'all said that. When you said candy and peanuts.
We'd all have Merry Christmas.
That's what we all have.
All right, Weave. Enjoyed it. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour 1. Get you set for hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Hello folks, this is Jamie Lane with Carolina Hardscapes and Mulch. We believe that making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio, fireplace, pool, walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. You can stop by our outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. At Carolina Hardscapes, we look forward to making your backyard the place to be. Find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership. Savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic's award-winning staff features a TPI golf specialist that offers assessments and rehab to help you get back on the course and playing your best.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. The new Bo's Chicken Sandwich isn't just any chicken sandwich. We took our time perfecting this bold seasoned, hand-breaded, certified Southern powerhouse. Pile that Big League buttered milk crunch with crispy pickles and creamy mayo for a chicken sandwich so good, you'll forget your mic is hot.
Now over to you, John.
Tomorrow we are going to set a record.
It's so fucking good! Try the new Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Look for Sparky Snowballs location at the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road, and remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com.
In studio today with No Idea, also known as Dennis McCunney to his friends and family. Why do you go to F3?
Well, Jonathan, I was just feeling kind of soft and sluggish, I guess. And back in the fall, I said, I'm going to just give it a try. Showed up in February, and I've been going ever since. So there's good spirits, there's camaraderie, there's accountability. I feel great. I'm really motivated to be better. So it's been a great experience for me.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Pirate radio sounds different.
Different is good. We are all the same. You'll be ashamed.
Because different is good.
Oh, yeah.
Pirate radio.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Rock.
Welcome back into the show. Remember how I said August was awesome from a fan standpoint because there's optimism, you're undefeated. It also really stinks because you don't want to hear about any injury news coming from your favorite team, and the latest big name involved in injury news, this came out this afternoon. Chase Claypool, Steelers wide receiver, was injured, according to Pro Football Talk, on the next to last play of today's Steelers practice. He remained on the ground after trying to catch a long pass. He was helped off the field, did not put any weight on his leg. So they do not know what the injury is as of right now, but you just you hate to see that crap.
Man.
And it happens to every team every year. You just hope it's not your guys.
Yeah, we saw it last year with the Giants, Saquon Barkley. But that happened in the regular season. You really hate to see this happen in training camp when you're not wanting to see any kind of injury at all throughout the season. But when it happens before it even starts, then that's really bad.
We'll talk about it with Igoe when he comes in, because last year you had Von Miller and I believe Cortland Sutton who were hurt before week one, and it's like your season's shot already. Sutton actually, No, he played in one game. He got hurt in the first game, I guess. But you just know it's over before it even gets started, and it stinks.
Yeah, I worry about it every single day. About, all right, what Panther are we going to hear about today? What Panther are we going to see on the injured reserve today? And luckily, the Panthers haven't had anybody so far other than Troy Pride Jr. just on Sunday. So, it stinks to see that because Claypool had such a great rookie year last year. He was one of those guys that kind of was drafted right there in the middle of the draft and just came out guns a-blazing, and it was really dependable for the Steelers last year beside Juju Smith-Schuster.
All right, we'll talk a lot of NFL and college football in hour number 2. Antwan Staley set to join us, covers Florida State football now, has covered the Dolphins, Panthers, other teams in the past. So we'll go big picture college football and NFL when we return. After that, Perry Owens, the head football coach of the Washington Pan Pack, will join us to talk about a team that will not catch anybody by surprise. The fall of 2021. Maybe they were able to do that in the spring of 2021. Perry Owens will give us a lowdown on his Pan Pack coming up later on this hour. Also, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, set to join us as well. A lot more to go. A lot of football talk on the way on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
John Eckert from John Eckert Entertainment in California. Everybody knows who Pat Boone is. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with him.
Well, Ed Lubin, his business manager, and I were friends, and I get a call from Ed Lubin saying he has this crazy little Christian music show. Would you mind, with your gift of gab, call these radio stations and say, how would you like to have Pat Boone on a weekend or weekday radio show?
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. What's next for college athletics? We'll have some thoughts next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
And there's a swing and a high drive, deep right field. This one is flying out of the ballpark. Anthony Santander sends it onto Utah Street. And this just got a little bit more interesting. It's a 5-2 ball game.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
Round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. That goofy old saying reminds me of college athletics today. Do we really know where it's going? The movers and shakers don't really know. It's as if they're throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. It's all about the almighty dollar. Television revenue runs the entire enterprise. The rich are getting richer, the poor poorer. A lot of the fun and enjoyment of college athletics is gone for a lot of folks. So we'll sit back and watch and hope ECU survives, and it will. What the athletics program will look like down the road is anyone's guess. As Pirates, we do the best we can. It's always been that way, and it will always be that way. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit Inside the Booth.
You've been listening to Inside the Booth with Jeff Charles on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back from sales to service. Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. Brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World, across from Speedway at Bells Fork, and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Barak.
All right, a moment ago, talked about Chase Claypool, Steelers wide receiver, suffering an injury today at the end of Steelers practice. Mike Garofalo from NFL Network says Claypool did not suffer a significant injury. Sources are saying major sigh of relief for Pittsburgh. They will see what the diagnosis is, but a relief after how it looked. So maybe it's not a serious injury there for Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool. We will talk all things football, college and pro, with Antwan Staley, who joins us once again on the Fixed NC Live line. Antwan, good to have you back. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm great, and it's part of this time of year, Antwan. I hate to even talk about it, but these injuries that pop up, and you've covered the Dolphins, you've covered the Panthers, you know how it is day to day when these freak accidents happen. Sometimes it's contact injuries, but it's part of the game. It's part of the NFL life. I was trying to think, Antwan, and, Cam Akers was a big name that went down even before training camps began, the running back from the Rams. I'm knocking on wood as much as I can. I hate to even say it, but have we had significant injuries yet that could alter the standings? I guess you could say with the Colts, maybe with Wentz and Nelson. But outside of that, any other big injuries that will impact teams this year?
I think we've been injury-free, knock on wood, at least so far. I think teams have been really cautious of been putting players out there too soon, especially. I mean, things can happen throughout the course of practice, of course, but especially in the preseason where we only have 3 games now, and I think teams are being more cautious more than ever. So, no, we hadn't had that significant injury. I don't think that's going to change the landscape of possibly the NFL. You mentioned Winston, Nelson. Those guys are expected to be back probably sometime maybe in September. I know they're going to take it really easy with Wentz, and we'll see what happens with the Colts, too. I think a lot of people were expecting them to compete for a playoff spot. They certainly got one of the playoff spots last year with Phillip Rivers, and a very talented team. I definitely saw a little bit of them when they played the Panthers this upcoming weekend. So, yeah, I don't think, like I said, I think we've dodged that so far, but we'll see what happens in week 2 of the preseason. It's definitely, I expect more starters to play, and sometimes when that happens, then you get a lot more injuries that kind of happen from time to time.
Let's start with NFL, and then we'll bounce to college football. And sticking with the AFC South, how shocked would you be at this point, Antwan, if the Titans did not win that division?
I thought they were the best team anyway, even with Wentz there. I thought Wentz is coming off a season where, with the Eagles, I know the Colts definitely have a lot more weapons than the Eagles did last year, but still a lot of questions, especially, his durability. That's been a big issue there. And then even when he did play last year with the Eagles, he just wasn't really consistent and turning the ball over a ton. So, I know he gets back there with Frank Wright, and I think he'll play better than what he did with the Eagles. But I still like what the Titans have done, especially, you're getting Julio Jones there, the team up with A.J. Brown. I think Ryan Tannehill is, very underrated as a quarterback. I think a lot of people just kind of look at Derrick Henry and just say, that's the reason they're winning. But Tannehill has made some big throws in some critical moments too as well, and definitely that offensive line is really good. The defense definitely a big question with Tennessee. I definitely think as of right now, I think I'd go with the Titans, even with a healthy Winston to win that division. So yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't win that division when it's all said and done.
I'm just going to pepper you with questions, Antwan. People do this on your Twitter all the time, so you should be used to it. So let's go to New England. How serious of a competition do you think it is at this point? I mean, Cam's the starter. Bill Belichick's even said that. But how long is that leash? Do they want to get Mac Jones in early? Would they rather him sit for a while and watch what the offense is doing? What's the likelihood that due to performance, not due to injury or anything, we see Mac Jones in the first couple months of the season?
Yeah, you hit it right there. Due to performance, to be honest with you, Cam Newton has not played in a full 16-game season since 2017. So history says that probably Mac Jones is going to play one way or the other at some point. So I expect him to play, but probably not. I would say not the first month of the season. I think they want to go with Cam as long as they can, and they feel like they've upgraded that team offensively enough where they feel like they can compete and win. And we talk about Cam Newton. I know he took a lot of criticism last year for some of his play, but I felt before COVID, before he came down with coronavirus, I definitely thought he was a much different quarterback there. You look at what he did against the Dolphins there. I know it wasn't always pretty throwing the football, but I thought he was very efficient at times. And then you look at the Seattle game with New England on Sunday Night Football. I definitely think he made some critical throws and gave them the really good chance to win that football game. I think the key for them is getting a lot of those players back that ended up opting out last year. I think they had like 13 or 14 players that opted out due to COVID last year. So getting that and improving what they have offensively there. I know Hunter Henley, Jonnu Smith, they'll run a lot of 12 personnel with what they want to do and try to take pressure off of Cam Newton. I definitely think that would be beneficial. And I expect the Patriots to be in the playoff race when it's all said and done. I think the Bills are the best team in the East, but there's no reason why New England at least can't get one of the three wild card spots.
Talking to Antwan Staley on the Fixed NC Live line, I remember week 1 last year, Antwan, Patriots win, so Cam's being celebrated. Brady and the Bucks lose to the Saints, so we make those rash reactions that, Belichick won this one. He knows what he's doing, and we saw how that turned out. I was thinking it's going to be the same thing this year, week 1, to a much lesser degree, but depending on what happens in that Panthers-Jets game, we're all going to make our proclamations on, Sam Darnold was just in a bad spot in New York. Now he's a winner in Carolina, or the Jets made the right move to move on from Darnold and bring in Wilson. The week 1 reactions to that game are going to be similar to to Cam and Brady week 1 last year.
Yeah, really, the week reactions to the NFL are like no other that you get in any other sport, to be honest with you. Just once a week. So you only see those teams and players once a week, so you get those, everybody has a hot take on something. And especially week 1 where you hadn't seen any kind of real live football for it's about a month since February. So yeah, everybody's ready to go and think, this happened in week 1, so this is going to determine how things are going to play out the rest of the season. But really, that's not the case. And you talk about Darnold too as well. I know there was some people that asked me why isn't he playing, but he solidifies the Panthers starter, and you don't necessarily want to throw your top quarterback out there week 1 of the preseason when he already know he's going to start too. At this point, with 3 preseason games, I don't think it's really no benefit to have him start at least week 1 of the preseason. We'll see what happens with the Ravens game on Saturday. I know they're scrimmaging a couple of times with the Ravens leading up to that. Matt Rule said he'll make a decision on that on Thursday. A conference call on Zoom yesterday that I was a part of. But yeah, I mean, I think he'll probably play, but I don't know how much Darnold will play in the second preseason game, or the third too. He could probably play in the third too as well, because remember this year it's 3 preseason games, and then the third one is 2 weeks before the regular season start, as opposed to a week. So yeah, they could decide they want to just hold him out for the last preseason game and see what happens. But either way, yeah, I expect that game definitely to be spirited over. A whole bunch to Sam Darnold when it's in week 1, especially for a variety of reasons.
Chandler, our producer, a Panthers fan, was talking to him earlier. Christian McCaffrey, Antwan, I guess, going to be sitting the entire preseason. How about DJ Moore, and what stars will Panthers fans see in the preseason, if any?
Well, yeah, McCaffrey, that's probably the smart thing to do, especially him missing 13 games last year. So, and running backs, I don't think you need to put them out there in the preseason. I mean, it's really no point, especially you want to preserve them and keep them away from the wear and tear. As far as some of the other stars, Matt Rule, we asked him about that yesterday. He actually said that he'll make a decision on that. So I imagine you'll see some DJ Moore and maybe Robbie Anderson and some of the other guys too eventually in the preseason. But I just didn't think you were going to see it week 1 against the Colts too as well. But yeah, I think you could see it. I think the Ravens will be a really good test too, just because they're so physical as a football team, and they're definitely obviously a playoff team for a year ago. So you could see them against the Ravens, and also the Steelers too. Steelers also made the playoffs too as well, and they play a physical brand style, sort of like Baltimore does. So I think that would be really 2 really good tests for the Panthers leading up to the season against the Jets. But yeah, I expect the starters to play a little bit more against the Ravens and also the Steelers.
Antwan, I'm not asking if this is fair or not. I'm just asking, is this the reality of the situation? A couple of young quarterbacks, Tua in Miami, Daniel Jones in New York. Is it already make or break for those guys, or is that too early to say for those 2 guys with their respective teams?
2 different situations, but yeah, I think both are in very similar situations. Obviously, Jones heading in his 3rd year and Tua his 2nd. I guess I'll start with Daniel Jones, since he's the older of the 2. We're talking about a Giants team that surrounded him with more talent this offseason. Ended up taking Kadarius Toney in the 1st round. Also got Kenny Golladay as well, and you get Saquon Barkley, you assume, back healthy. And they've done some things to improve that offensive line. So it's really all on Daniel Jones at this point, too, as well. We've seen signs of him playing well, but the turnovers and the fumbles have been really a killer for him. So he has to be able to take care of the football there this year. And I definitely think, especially Joe Judge going in his 2nd year, I thought the Giants played probably a little bit better than what some people thought last year. I mean, remember, they were only 1 game back of winning the division, so
yeah,
it's not. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, but yeah, I definitely think they could possibly be in the midst there. But I think definitely Dallas and Washington are the far superior teams in that division. But yeah, he's definitely got to show signs that he's the franchise quarterback, or else I think they'll be looking at the draft for a really loaded quarterback class coming up. And Tua, yeah, I think I've written about this. I've talked about this plenty of times ad nauseum, especially with Dolphin fans. Yeah, I think, even in his 2nd year, he's feeling a lot of pressure from a lot of different people, whether it be the media or the fans. But I think for good reason, the Dolphins finished 10-6 last year. Obviously, Fitzpatrick replaced them in a few games there, and the Dolphins feel like they can win now. And, you had a lot of talk about Deshaun Watson and them possibly trading for him. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen for a lot of reasons, but Dolphins feel like they can make the playoffs this year. And if Tua doesn't necessarily turn that corner and get his, even though it's only his 2nd year, become the quarterback or start to show signs that he can be a franchise quarterback. Remember, the Dolphins have 2 first-round picks next year. So it's definitely, you can see them possibly taking a quarterback in the 1st round next year too as well. So it's really a critical time for both of them. I'm not giving up on either one of them, especially not Tua in his 2nd year. But yeah, they definitely start to have to go showing signs that they are a franchise quarterback, especially in Daniel Jones' case.
Yeah,
being his 3rd year.
And that's another thing too, Antwan. Those 1st-round picks. I think the Giants have 2, right? And then you said the Dolphins have a couple, so that's even another reason to think that it could be a make or break year for those young QBs. And yeah, I forgot that if the Eagles didn't pull Jalen Hurts from that Week 17 game against Washington and put in who'd they put in? The former Redskins quarterback.
I can't remember now.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, if they didn't do that, The Giants, could have hosted Tom Brady and the Bucs in the playoffs. They were that close in a poor NFC East. All right, let's see. As we go around the league here, Antwan, Deshaun Watson, real quick. This one's impossible to answer, but does he play this year? And if so, is it on the Texans or a different team? Do you have any idea how this situation resolves itself?
The name we're looking for is Nate Sudfeld.
Sudfeld, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
there it is. Thank you.
I had to let that out too. That was crazy boggling my mind. So back to Watson, I think the Texans probably should have just traded him before the draft. I mean, I know they didn't really want to, but it was one, he didn't want to be there, and then two, you start to see things that was the birds start circling and things start popping up then, and then he still had interest too. At that point, I would have just cut bait and try to get as much as you can. Now, if you trade him, you're getting more pennies on the dollar than what you would have before. You probably would have got maybe 3 first-round picks for him. Definitely, you would have got 2 and a lot of other picks. Now, what do you get for him? Especially with so many questions surrounding him, especially his future. Not only in the NFL, but just in general, really. I don't know if the Texans are really in the position to trade him at this point when his value is really at an all-time low. I think the best thing they could do, and I think Houston is starting to realize this too, especially when you got Tyrod Taylor and they end up drafting the quarterback too as well, and just punt on the season. That's pretty much what I think they're going to do. They're just going to, they're going to be a 3 and 15.
We'll never get used to that. Yeah,
3 and 14 team now. I'm trying to think of this in my mind. But
yeah,
they're just going to win 3 games probably, and maybe have the first round pick, and they can figure out what quarterback they may want to take in the draft this upcoming year, and then if you can trade Deshaun Watson for a first-round pick or maybe 2 other first-round picks too as well in the process, then you start to rebuild your team from there. But, I don't think you trade him at this point too, especially when he doesn't have a lot of value, especially with everything that's going around. So I expect he's going to sit for the year, and you're just going to roll with Tyrod Taylor and just be a bad team.
Yeah, we have a recurring segment on the show every time we bring up a news item related to the Texans. It's called Poor David Culley. The guy gets his NFL job, and now we've seen situations like this, Antwan, where guys have been placeholders. Is he like a placeholder until they bring in their next QB and their new head coach? Or are they going to give this guy a real shot with a real team? That remains to be seen, but you want to talk about an awful position to be in your first year as a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think he knew what it was when he took it anyway.
True.
I mean, he knew Watson didn't want to be there. He knew the Texans were already a bad team to begin with, and now you have a top 5 quarterback that doesn't want to be there, and now you got things surrounding him, legal wise. So yeah, I mean, I think as long as he waited for this opportunity, he's probably just happy just to get it because maybe nobody else would have given it to him.
Yeah.
So I guess he tried to make the best of it and hope things work out.
Antwan Staley joining us. Antwan, I might have to ask you to come back on next week or in 2 weeks to talk college football because we're about out of time and we haven't even started with college football. So I might try to get you back on here in the next couple of weeks and talk college football, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, I'll throw out a few more NFL's questions before we get out of here today. Let's see. Let's wrap up the NFC here. I'll throw you how about a team that missed the playoffs last year that could be a factor this year? I'm eyeballing 2 in the West with the Cardinals and 49ers. We'll throw the Panthers in there just to get your take on that. And how about the Vikings with Dalvin Cook and Cousins at quarterback, and the Cowboys, of course, too, if they're healthy, they are picked to win the NFC East right alongside of Washington. But let's go Niners, Cardinals, Panthers, Vikings. Who do you like the most out of those teams, Antwan?
I like the Vikings. I think, you look at the Bears last year. I know they made the playoffs, even though people kind of forget that because they were one of the teams that benefited from the extra wild card spot. But yeah, I like the Vikings returning back this year. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is what he is. He's a slightly above average quarterback, but I think when as long as you have Dalvin Cook healthy and what they surrounded him offense wise and defensively, I think the Vikings could be a 9 or 10 win team potentially. Dallas, I definitely think them and Washington that's going to be a really good battle for the NFC East too as well. The Panthers, I want to believe in the Panthers offensively. I do. I think Sam Darnold could be good enough to get them to the playoffs, but it's all about the defense. That's really what it boils down to. I need to see signs of this defense taking the next step, and I love Brian Burns. I love some of the, other additions that they made to Derek Brown, obviously Jeremy Chin, but, they just need to do it consistently, and still some questions with the secondary, although I like J.C. Horn, too, as well.
On that note, real quick, Antwan, you said you want to believe in the Panthers. Do you believe in Matt Rule long-term in Carolina?
I don't know.
Remains to be seen.
Jury's still out. Yeah, jury's still out.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go to the AFC big picture items. Does Baltimore run the North, or are you giving the Browns and maybe the Steelers a shot there?
I think the Steelers are still going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs. I like the Browns too. I think I would probably put the Browns to win the division. The Ravens are going to be there too. I think it could be another situation where you get, definitely going to get two teams out of that division.
Yeah.
The Steelers are. I mean, I saw the Steelers finish 8-8 and without a quarterback. So I definitely think they're a team that's always consistently going to be in the mix. Whether they make the playoffs or not, I don't know, but they'll be there somewhere close to making the playoffs. But yeah, I like the Browns and the Ravens both to make the playoffs.
All right, if the Chiefs don't sweep their division games, who beats them? Your Raiders, the Chargers, or the Broncos?
The Chargers. I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a team that's going to make the playoffs. I think they get one of the wild card spots too, especially with the way Herbert's played this year and some of the additions that they made. And I love Brandon Staley too as well. But yeah, you definitely see the Raiders getting them too as well, as good as that offense is. Defense is not good at all, but how many points the Raiders can score offensively. I definitely think they could potentially get a game from the Chiefs once again.
I had a stat for sports trivia at AJ's a couple weeks ago. This team was, I want to say, 13-3 in overs last year. It was the Raiders who scored a lot of points and I guess gave up a lot of points too, Antwan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's just football.
Antwan, sorry to bother you during a Red Sox game, but hopefully our chat distracted you from them losing to the Yankees 5-3. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it definitely did. But it's always they got the game at 7, so looking forward to that.
Antwan, always great to talk to you, man. And like I said, I'm gonna get you back on to talk college football if you'll give us some more of your time, either next week or the following week, as we get ready for ECU App State and an awesome slate for Week 1. We got some Week 0 games coming up next Saturday as well. So a lot of football to talk about. We'll talk more football with you. But Antwan, what do you got going on we need to know about?
Yeah, I mean, you can check my stuff out at Antwan Sports too as well. Definitely have an article. We're doing articles, game by game predictions, college football, also NFL, and also have an article on Daniel Jones and his progress too as well. So that was a good segue for what we talked about. So you can check me out there. Best place to find me is Antwan Staley on Twitter.
Antwan, enjoyed it, man. We'll talk again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Antwan Staley joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line, running through the NFL. We'll get him back on to talk some ECU and college football here before the season begins. When we return, we got to talk to Perry Owens before the high school season begins, because that is coming up this Friday. We'll have D.H. Conley football for you right here on Pirate Radio Friday night. Chandler Honeycutt will be on the call for some Whiteville football coming up this Friday night. It's a great time of the year. As the high school kids get back on the field, we'll have our Washington Pam Pack preview with Coach Perry Owens when we return after this. Weekends are made for A.J. McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at A.J.'s. A.J.'s is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on A.J.'s TVs. See you this weekend at A.J. McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above. Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Yo, ho, you're listening to Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, earlier this calendar year, the high school football season was played in Pitt County. And we had one of the greatest post-game interviews of all time. It was Ken Watlington from WNCT Channel 9 talking to Washington head football coach Perry Owens, who won the conference and after the game had a fantastic speech, but the line that stood out that we'll never forget, he was telling folks that all the non-believers, all the doubters, that they had to eat their words, and not just eat your words. He had a condiment for those words, Shirley Rhodes.
Y'all put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it. Eat your words. Put some ranch on it. And we'll talk about that forever. Every time somebody now has to eat their words, I'm telling them to put some ranch on it.
Y'all put some ranch on it.
Just an amazing line from Perry Owens, and it's time to get ready for another season of Washington Pan-Pac football with the head coach of the Pan-Pac. Perry Owens joins us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Coach, welcome back to Pirate Radio. How you doing today?
I appreciate it. I'm doing well, just trying to get through this first week of staff meetings and all the fun teacher stuff you got to do.
Yeah, it's more than just coaching the game on Friday night, right?
Imagine that.
Well, Coach, it is game week, and I guess before I go ahead and count those chickens, let me ask: are y'all set to go for Friday night? We had Todd Lipe on last week and was all pumped up for their season opener. And last I heard, they were looking for a game for Friday night due to COVID and some issues there. So, how about you guys? Are you guys all set to go for Friday?
Well, Lord willing, as of right now, you never know with this Delta variant that's on the loose. But as of right now, we are on pace. We're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to play the Pamlico Hurricanes. They're coming up to Choppy Wagner Stadium, and we're really excited. We're excited to play a school that's been really good the last couple of years, a few years away removed from a state championship with a winning tradition. So we're excited. Hopefully, I'll feel good about the game when the Pamlico bus pulls up and we see the officials. But until then, you got to hold your breath with all this COVID mess coming back.
Yes, sir. You're right about that. Perry Owens joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Coach, very short off season for you guys, an awkward spring season thrown in there. And boy, you guys had a fantastic year, and you know it's famous by now. Nobody, and I don't know, maybe people will still pick against Washington, but if you do, you'll have to eat your words, put some ranch on it. Coach, how did you come back from that great spring season, and how did you handle the short off season that your football team had?
Well, not only short in the sense of football, I'm also the head track coach. So the same skill kids and the same linemen that were coming back that weren't seniors turned right around. And in our program, if you play football, you run track or play baseball in the spring. So I got a lot of our guys back running track. So we went through track season, which ran all the way to, I think, the middle of late June. So we got a little bit of break with some dead periods, but we just kind of pushed the mantra of continue to do what we do with our hard work. And then the bookends with that senior group last year and that season, that book's closed. This year, it's about this group of kids, young and our seniors that are coming up, writing their own story, blazing their own trail. It's important for them to understand that we're no longer the underdog. We are the team that is favored in most of our matchups, and it's important to embrace the process of taking it one day at a time, getting better. So this group, I'm excited because there's not a pressure here to be like, well, it's an awful season if we don't get back to the Eastern Finals. This group's just going to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. They're excited to be one of the few senior classes that have the opportunity to go out and never have a losing season. I mean, these seniors as freshmen won the conference. They won 8 games as their sophomore year and got in this second place spot for conference last in 2019. We won the conference in a co-conference champion situation. And then last year in the spring season, we won the ECC. So we're excited to join the new conference, the EPC, and we're excited to write our own chapter.
Talking to Perry Owens on the Fixed NC Live Line, Coach, and talked to some other coaches around the area. It's if you had a younger team in the spring, you could almost use it as a glorified spring ball to get you ready for fall. If you had a veteran team, you try to win it all as you guys did. How about you? How many returners do you have from that great season we saw earlier this calendar year?
So offensively, we bring back 8 of 11. We graduated Jaden Hambrick, who's a scholarship player at running back at St. Augustine's. We lost Juan Rosario. He graduated to the Navy. And we lost Big Ben Swinson, who hopefully is going to be walking on at East Carolina in the spring. So we lose 3 pieces there, but we bring back 8 of 11. Defensively, we bring back 6 of 11, and we've got some new faces. We lost Walt Gerard, who's currently on NC State's roster as a defensive back. We lost a couple really good seniors to graduation, Chris Hill on the defensive line. But we've also, while we lost some starters and some experience, we've got some really good young players that are going to step in and play, and we were able to hire Bud Benson as our defensive coordinator to kind of mastermind it with Coach Heck, our D coordinator from last year, who's going to coach linebackers. And we tried to upgrade the staff as much as we can and encourage our young guys as we bring back a pretty decent group.
Coach, you mentioned it a moment ago, and what's it like to go from the hunter to the hunted, I guess? I mean, do you feel that way? Do you talk to your team about that?
Yeah, and it's just understanding you're the target now, and we talk about this. Washington's changed a lot. Back in the day, small 3A school that played all the 3As and 4As out of Pitt County. As of yesterday, we got 846 students. We're not 3A anymore. So we're a bigger 2A, and we're not the homecoming game anymore like we were in 2017. So, it's that mindset of, hey, we got the target on our back, and it's not because people don't like us or somebody has something against us. It's just the nature of the beast. We're sitting at one of the top 3 spots in the ladder, and people want to knock us down. So it's important to embrace the process of worrying about us. In our locker room on a big giant banner, it says it's about us. So everything we do is about us getting better, not the opponent, not the mantra, not what coverage they're in, not who's the coach, not how many kids they have. It's about us getting better daily. So that's kind of the approach we're taking. It's a new feeling for sure. It's definitely a new feeling to go from the underdog to the favorite, but with all due respect, we've earned it, and now we have to learn how to play with it and meet those expectations.
Perry Owens joining us. Coach, who are some guys you'll be counting on Friday night and the remainder of this 2021 season?
Well, I think it goes without said. Terry Moore, 3-star athlete to Duke commit. Right behind him, Hayes Pippin, our quarterback, our leader. He led that offense that was number 1 in school history last year at 37 points a game. Messiah Ebron's going to step up and fill those roles of Juan Rosario as a primary target. Christian Norman at wide receiver. Drake Melton on the offensive line, and you'll turn around on the defensive side of the ball. Wheeler Johnson hopes to get another all-conference campaign going through. I'm excited to see Kobe Monday and Dawson Mitchell play the linebacker spot. And really, I look at 2 guys that define consistency in our program. They make every lift, every run. They're 4.0 GPA kids. Ryan Sproul, our all-conference corner, is going to be playing a little bit both ways for us in some packages. And then Romello McCall. We bring him back at the stand-up defensive end. So it'll be how the young guys like Austin Waters and KJ and Gary Payne, who's a big 6'4", 240-pound defensive end, who's a sophomore. It's going to be those guys filling in roles, and we've scheduled accordingly to try to help those young guys grow. So we're excited. Those are our heavy hitters, and again, you never know, what it'll shake or how or sort of who you need. So we just try to get all 70 of our guys ready, and we treat the JV games like varsity and treat the varsity like Saturdays. So we try to take it pretty serious.
Perry Owens joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Coach, you excited to hopefully get to show off all the hard work your team has put in front of more fans this season? You had that great spring season and didn't get to enjoy it with the packed house there for the Pan Pack. Hopefully you can get some more fans in the stands to see you guys this year, right?
Yeah, and it's definitely becoming a community event. We want people to be there. We want them to support us. In the Eastern Finals at limited capacity because of our stadium size, we had 1,038 paid fans at $10 a piece. So needless to say, that helps athletic departments and that helps our non-revenue sports greatly. So we're pushing hard. If you look at our schedule, we've got 4 home games and 6 on the road. With the way we've scheduled and the way our school has shrunken in size, we're playing 2 1A non-conference teams, 2 3A non-conference teams, one with 1,100 students in First Flight, and then South Central should be 15 to 1,800 students, about triple our size almost. But we'll play some teams that will challenge us, and then when we get in our conference play, we have to make some noise and win the games we're supposed to. And then, in my opinion, it's going to come down to some very big home games, the first one being West Craven. Obviously, they have the East Carolina commit, C.J. Mims, who is the best defensive player, in my opinion, east of I-95. And then on the other side of it, we got another massive home game where hopefully we can get it packed out here in Choppy Wagner, and that'll be where Southwest Edge comes. And if I had to be honest with you, we need every Pan Pac football alumni, fan, person to be in the stadium for those, because our conference is going to come down to West Craven and Southwest Edge come, and you always got to keep your eye open for Todd Life. He's got a few rings to his name, and Aiden Griffin seems to be much improved. So we got our hands full, but I'm definitely excited to get our community back out and get small town Friday night lights going again.
A great football league for sure. Talking to Perry Owens. Perry, you mentioned all the alumni, and when you think Washington, I guess you first go to Dominique Wilkins, but a great Pirate of years past, Terrence Copper, and I was able to work with Terrence and also become friends with Terrence, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. It's probably tough to do in some regard at the high school level, and also you still have guys that are locals there, but how much, Coach, at all do you try to connect the past with the current with your players?
Well, I think the first thing we did when I got here, I was introduced to Coach Copper, as I call him, and introduced to his facility out there in Winterville, Greenville. I'm still figuring that area out, haha. But no, the best part about it is we started hanging banners, and we did our research to the state of North Carolina and Shrine Bowl players, East-West players, Division II, Division III, and Division I alumni, guys who went and graduated. So you talk about former Pirates, you mentioned the great Terrence Copper, you mentioned alumni like Harold Robertson. I think we have 11 or 12 over the years that have played at East Carolina. We have 2 or 3 at the school in Raleigh I'm not supposed to mention because you're a Greenville radio. We couple at Duke, and then, just it's been really cool to put their names up and then to have them come home and take a look at it. And guys who are now in central offices like Asim McGill over in Riverside, who was played in North Carolina Central. So it's exciting to get that going, but it's also pretty cool to sit down with alumni, especially Coach Copper, and have the conversation of, so many ask me, hey, Coach, why aren't we playing so-and-so and so-and-so anymore? And then I tell them, I said, hey, look, we've lost 300-400 kids in our ADM in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? We're that small of a 2A? And it's, yeah, so I've found nothing but support from the ones that understand the mission and the vision, and I'm excited. It's the best thing we could have done as a program was Coach Sawyer, who was here for a long time and won right at 100 games and went to a state championship. We had him home during our playoff run, and we had Long Blue Line speakers. That's what the Washington Pan Pac football alumni is. We had him come in and speak and stand on the sideline, and that kind of opened the bridge. So Terrence has been phenomenal. We hope to continue reaching out to former Pirates, former Wolfpackers, former Blue Devils, former Aggies, former Eagles, and then anybody like on our coaching staff. Ray Pippin played at Catawba. He's the defensive end. He also played at Washington. Mike Nichols is an alumni here who's a really good high school player. So Kevin Chapman, another ECSU football alumni who's on our staff, who's the offensive line coach. So we try very hard to build the bridge to not only say, hey, we have a pride, a great legacy here. There's a lot of Long Blue Line pride, but come in as alumni and see how the school has changed and understand the vision moving forward, that we ain't nobody's homecoming game. We're nobody's punching bag anymore, and we're going to work really hard to try to put ourselves in position to be competitive or win every single season.
Yeah, it's awesome that you embrace that there at Washington. Talking to Perry Owens on the Fixed NC Lifeline, Coach, I was surprised. I guess I shouldn't have been, but when I first got into this and would talk to coaches, and I found out that Donnie Kirkpatrick from East Carolina is a fellow Washington football team fan back in the day. So I'd go out to practice on Sunday night and interview him and say, hey, Coach, what do you think of the game today? And he's a fan, but he doesn't get to watch any of the games because he's working. So how about you?
No doubt.
Yeah, as a football coach at the high school level, do you have a favorite NFL team? Are you able to watch college football? What's your football watching like outside of your Pan Pac?
All right, I'm going to get on my soapbox to stick with me. You got my favorite college football team, and I'm an offensive guy. I could watch Lincoln Riley. I could watch those old East Carolina cut-ups and what they're doing at Oklahoma now. I love to watch them if I have the free time. Obviously, I played at Old Dominion, so hopefully we'll be a little better than what we were the 2 seasons ago. Obviously, I keep an eye on those two. You can't not help but notice how much better I think East Carolina is going to be. They've done an outstanding job. I think they're going to be a problem for everyone. So those 3 teams right off the bat, Oklahoma, East Carolina, and Old Dominion, are who I kind of keep my keep my tabs on. But it's funny now on the NFL side of things. I'll play a little fantasy football in my free time.
Okay.
The auto line button. But it's just by that time you kind of in a bind. If you want to watch college football all day, you got to make sure your huddle work and your game plan is set going into the week as a head coach and how you have every day planned. So I kind of watch a little more college than I do pro. I don't mind watching the Sunday night game until I fall asleep in the first quarter. So that's always fun. But, I'll keep an eye on that. I'm a Steelers guy. I know that's going to get me some more heat. Can you believe he eats ranch on everything and he likes the Steelers? I can't stand it. But,
Hey, your terrible towel comes in good use with all that ranch everywhere, right?
That is the most disrespectful thing ever. I would never put ranch on my terrible towel, my friend.
10-4. You know what? I misspoke there, Coach. Hey, here's a fantasy question for you. I got my big draft coming up Saturday. I got my keepers are Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf, so I'm good at receiver. I got to go running back. Got 6th overall. Is how do you feel about Saquon Barkley this year? I know that if he's on the field, it'd be a great pick at 6, but can he stay on that field? He's been bit by the injury bug since entering the league. Do you go there, or do you go with a safer pick at 6, Coach?
Well, I think Saquon's he's a boom or bust guy. I think he's got boom potential.
Yeah.
I think the red flag out of Giants camp is they've had some veterans retire, if I'm not mistaken, up front.
Yeah.
What are you providing Saquon with up front? How's Daniel Jones matured in his evolution down the field? To me, and I'm a simple high school coach, I'm loading the box and stopping Saquon and making Jones beat me. So with that being said, I don't know, especially in the NFC East with Washington having a great defense and the Cowboys being able to score like lightning, man, I'd have to go a safer route. I'd stay off of Saquon.
Man, I might just have to get you on for fantasy advice. That was awesome. All right, I'm going to look elsewhere. Coach Perry Owens joining us. Coach, final thoughts heading into a 2021 fall football season for your Pan Pack. I know you're fired up, ready to go.
I'm excited. Final thoughts. Let's take it one day at a time, one practice at a time. Understand we are in a very competitive league. I mean, if you think about just Greenville to Washington, you have the Big East with Havelock and all those boys, J.H. Rose and all them cats tied up. And then in our league, you have a miniature version of that with us, West Craven, Southwest Edge, and then the elite staffs at Aiden Grifton and Green Central. So it'll be an interesting time. I'm hoping and really confident that our young guys will come up to speed, that they'll play fast, that we'll have a really good non-conference schedule. And ultimately, like I said before, it's going to come down in our conference. If we're all healthy, it's going to be West Craven, Washington, and Southwest Edge kind of slugging it out to secure a conference title and playoff spots, because when we get to the playoffs this year, there's no subdividing. It's all a 2A, so all a 2A means the Edentons, the Northeasterns, the Clintons, the Wallace Rose Hills, the East Duplins, the Washingtons, the West Cravens. So it's a really exciting time as long as the NCHSAA holds to have 2A all together and to be in a position where we are to hopefully make a little noise and take it one day at a time.
Perry Owens joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Coach, thanks so much for your time today. Enjoyed talking with you here on the show, and we'll check in with you again during the season. Good luck to the Pan Pack this year.
Thanks, Sam. Y'all appreciate it.
Perry Owens joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Great to talk with Coach Owens. A lot of good one-liners and a great football coach as well. Looking forward to seeing what the Pan Pack do for a 2021 encore after their great spring season. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 2 and get ready for hour 3, where Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, will join us to talk all things ECU football. That and more on the way. We also got a giveaway. We'll make you a winner in hour 3 as well. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
This is Dr. Chris Hasty with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. For more than 35 years, we've been taking care of the student athletes at East Carolina University. We are happy to receive the designation of official team physicians from the university. Whether you need assistance with a sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, my colleagues and I are here to help. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Summer is a great time to buy beautiful new furniture at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, during our big summer sell-off, we've lowered prices all over the store. You'll find a great selection of the hottest living room furniture, bedrooms, and dining sets at savings that are hard to resist. And look for huge in-stock savings on sofas, sectionals, and recliners from Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Rowe with the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, enjoy local delivery for just $20.21 during the big summer sell-off now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
At US Cellular, we believe everyone should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, everyone can get a free smartphone, whether you're a new customer or not, with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
Name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
Pirate Radio. Join the crew.
Why are those things that go bang?
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. If you want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, follow us at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's free at PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Brock.
All right, back with you, wrapping up Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Then we'll dive into Hour 3 with Igoe, talk all things ECU. That's on the way in just a moment. But I want to wrap up this hour. I just saw that the 49ers are waiving quarterback Josh Rosen. And I remember, this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the show. August is awesome because everybody's undefeated. You think the best possible outcome for your team and the individuals and players on that team. And sometimes you just get hyped up and it's a little irrational, but you get so excited, you buy into it. And I got to tell you, on draft night 2018, when I heard Josh Rosen, after he was drafted 10th overall by the Cardinals, I jumped on board. Shirley, do you have the audio from Josh Rosen from that draft night when he was picked 10th overall by the Cardinals?
I was pretty pissed off. I fell. 1, 2, and 3 went by, and just kind of went into a blur after that. I was really angry. Teams were passing on me, and I was honestly expecting to get picked at some point and have to fake a smile and go up and pretend to be happy. But for some reason, when I got picked, all of that went away, and it just went to straight excitement and relief. There were 9 mistakes made ahead of me, and I will make sure over the next decade or so that they will know that they made a mistake.
All right, if a guy believes in himself that much, I have to believe in him a little bit, right? Well, you shouldn't have, and I shouldn't have, because Josh Rosen has been waived by the 49ers. This is his, third team? Cardinals. Was he with the Dolphins? Yeah. And now the Niners. And, of course, the Cardinals drafted him immediately. They fired their coach. They brought in Kingsbury, and they draft Kyler Murray and say, all right, we made a mistake. You don't see teams reboot that quickly in the NFL. They did it, and it looks like it's going to pay off. I would love to have Kyler Murray on my roster right now. So Josh Rosen said there was 9 mistakes, and for the next decade, he was going to show that to the NFL. Igoe, Stephen Igoe is here. Let's play a quick game, Igoe. Did teams make a mistake passing on Josh Rosen? First up, Cleveland and Baker Mayfield.
No.
Okay, I would agree that would be a no. The Giants, Saquon Barkley.
Definitely not.
The Jets, Sam Darnold.
No, but I mean, Darnold at this point is a complete unknown, but he's been better than Rosen.
Denzel Ward to the Browns.
Definitely not.
Bradley Chubb, your Broncos.
He's been hurt, but still better than Josh Rosen.
Quentin Nelson,
Definitely
pretty sure
better.
he's been an All-Pro. Josh Allen to the Bills.
Yeah, he got paid the other day.
Roquan Smith, Bears.
Beast.
Mike McGlinchey, just saw Igoe, he signed to stay on with the 49ers, so they think enough of him as a tackle to keep him in San Francisco. I'm going to say they didn't make a mistake either.
I think that's 9 for 9 and not making a mistake.
And Josh Rosen 10th. This is a pretty good draft, by the way.
It really is. There's no bust really in the top. Maybe Darnold.
I guess.
That's it.
But then you go on from there. Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Deron Payne, he's a good player for Washington. So, and you go even further down. Derwin James, who has had injuries, but he's good. A lot of Pro Bowlers. Leighton Vander Esch with the Cowboys. So this was a good draft outside of one Josh Rosen with the Cardinals. And again, that organization has moved on from him. Real quick, as we go to break, I've got a name in mind. I thought Johnny Manziel was going to be good in the NFL, and would have, if I had to bet one way or the other, I would say he would have been a Pro Bowler and would have been way off on that one. Who did you think was going to be good? Who were you on board with, and they made you like a fool?
2 that come to mind for my favorite team, the Broncos. A quarterback, Paxton Lynch, because I love what he did at Memphis. I mean, he really was fun to watch in Memphis. And I think I let the Kool-Aid get to me as they traded up to draft him. And we all know John Elway doesn't know how to draft quarterbacks despite being a great quarterback. The other one, kind of a random one, but Ashley Lally.
Ashley Lally.
Out of Hawaii.
I remember him.
First-round pick. Had a really good, first year, good preseason. Thought he was going to be a number 1 receiver, but he just never panned out.
Chandler, you like every Panther that's ever played in Carolina. But is there one guy that you thought was going to be awesome that was not, and you finally had to admit you were wrong about?
Vernon Butler.
Defensive tackle. Yeah.
That was the most boring pick, too, at the time. Just the last thing they needed was a D tackle with KK Short, and he just never even really came close to panning out.
Tulele, too.
Yeah,
he was a beast at the defensive tackle position. Then he went out with his defensive coordinator, Sean McDermott, to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then that's really when things went downhill for the defensive tackle position for the Panthers, because then we ended up getting Vernon Butler, who was not good, and then KK Short started having injury problems. So, yeah, I would say in the most recent years, I think Vernon Butler I think Kelvin Benjamin you could put up there, even though he did have some productive,
He
productive
fell off,
games,
man.
and then he just fell off. He just got. I think he's already been cut by the Giants.
I want to say did he? No, it wasn't him. It was Funchess who I saw this weekend caught a pass. I was thinking,
but Benjamin tried to come back as a tight end or something. I want to say
because he gained so much weight.
Yeah, I still remember covering the Panthers in that one training camp. He showed up like super fat and out of shape, and that's like all I wrote about for 2 days.
We don't fat shame people on the show, but it would be funny if he kept showing up like, all right, tight end didn't work. I'm going to be a defensive end. All right, that didn't work. I'm going to be a run-stuffing defensive tackle. Like, he just kept getting fatter and tried to update his position by how fat he was.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was him.
The one picture, this might be the same one you're talking about, Igoe, is the one that I thought it literally was photoshopped because he looked so big.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. The sad thing is that it wasn't photoshopped. He had gained so much weight. He had gone off whatever diet he was on and was not taking care of himself, and it was just a absolute embarrassment, not just for him but also the Carolina Panthers, and things have gone downhill for him since.
It was just him walking out of the training camp like no pads or anything, just
Right.
him in a shirt.
And you thought he had pads on.
Exactly. It was not good.
Did you go down to Spartanburg when you were covering the Panthers?
I did a couple times. That day it was just on the internet though, where I came across that picture, and that was all Panther fans wanted to talk about, which got me through a week of content, which was good.
Chandler, is Vernon Butler still in the NFL?
I believe he plays for the Bills, the Carolina Bills.
I was going to ask if you're right. He does. Where every former Panther goes, including Luke Kuechly.
Oh, I didn't want you to bring that up.
Now I'm upset. He's cheating on you and us.
I meant to tweet that video of him helping the linebackers out. I meant to tweet that out and say, now he's cheating on both of us, and tag you and Billy Weaver.
He's not a 2-timer. He is a 3-timer. That Luke Kuechly.
And had the gear on. Did he have gear on when he went to y'all's practice?
I don't know.
He was decked out in Buffalo Bills.
He's dead to me now. I don't care about Luke Kuechly at all. He's no longer an honorary Washington football team member.
Dude, you're taking offense to a guy that showed up to a practice. Try being a fan of him for 8 years.
No, my dream was he was going to start coaching the linebackers, and one guy would get hurt, and then he'd just go in and play and like be an all-pro with
Kind of
Washington.
like a certain player for a certain university that we'll talk about at the end of on the other side of the break.
What a segue by Chandler Honeycutt. That's why he's the best in the business, and he is guiding young intern Jalen on how to be the best in the business. Shirley Rhodes is here as well. Stephen Igoe is here. We'll talk Pirate football. I got a lot to talk about Igoe because I have been away, so you're going to have to catch me up on what's been going on out at practice.
We also have to talk about the best team in the NFL based upon the first week of preseason.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, God. All right, fine. Look, it's exciting. It's an exciting month. Everybody's happy. Igoe is now he psyched himself up into thinking his NFL team's going to be good when really they're going to go 5-12 and have to find a new quarterback. But right now,
they're great.
Everything's great. All right, we'll take a timeout, come back, more to go after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
ECU football coach, Mike Houston.
You think about like Bruce Bivens and some of those guys, this is the first time they've had the same defensive coordinator and same position coach 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
They know the system. They feel so much more comfortable going into year 2 with Blake. The offensive kids feel so much more comfortable going into year 3 with Donnie.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's Papa. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan-crusted papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan-crusted papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times?
Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service the number one priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Glad to be back. Great show yesterday as we debuted the Players Lounge with all the ECU players. That was really fun to listen to and get to know some of the Pirate players.
And as a matter of fact, we've got them the Players Lounge edition of the Pirate Radio podcast coming up at 6 o'clock tonight.
All right. Good stuff.
We'll have back-to-back episodes. The first one will feature Holt Nailers and DJ Ford. And then the second one will be C.J. Johnson, Tyler Sneed, and Rajay Harris. So you can hear that at 6 o'clock.
And, of course, Bruce Bivens, Xavier Smith on as well. Xavier is a natural behind the microphone. We talked over the years about our all media-friendly team. What was the award the NFL gives out? Like, for the best media-friendly guy? That was a real thing we learned not too long ago. But like Zeke Bigger comes to mind, who was a go-to guy. But Xavier Smith, he's Mr. Personality, I think, on this football team.
He seems to have a great personality, and I think it's interesting listening to him and Bruce Bivens talk at the same time, because both of them, I think, are leaders on defense, but Bivens as the Mike linebacker is kind of the mouthpiece of the defense. But you wouldn't get it just from talking to him. Maybe in an interview setting, he seems more reserved, but on the practice field, he's pretty loud. He's ordering guys around, and both those guys. It's crazy to think Xavier Smith going into his 4th year at ECU and Bruce Bivens his 5th year at ECU. So it's just hopefully those guys can experience the winning that they deserve.
No doubt, and we are hoping for that, and glad to have those guys on board with us Mondays here on Pirate Radio Live. All right, we had a good discussion coming back into the break, Stephen. First of all, you said something interesting. I'll form it into a question. Which game for East Carolina is more winnable, in your opinion? Is it week 1 in Charlotte against Appalachian State, or is it week 2 at home against South Carolina?
First off, I'm entertained by what you're drawing on the paper over there.
Maybe I have some form of disorder,
but I'm just trying to figure out what it is. But I'm entertained.
I don't know. It's like an abstract. Or whatever.
You're doing like a live art project on the air, which is entertaining. But no, I rank South Carolina ahead of App State in terms of opponents that are hardest to easiest because of their SEC talent. But the closer we get to kickoff and the fact that it's at home, I think App State is less winnable, if that's a phrase, then I think South Carolina is the more winnable game, just based on what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing a lot of uncertainty with their team right now. We'll get into the quarterback situation in a minute, but their best cornerback, who transferred in from Kansas, he left the program. Last I heard, their other starting cornerback was questionable for the season opener. They had a converted receiver who's running with the ones as their corner right now. One of their defensive tackles, who was a former 4-star recruit, got hurt the other day in practice. They've had a couple other guys get hurt. Like, they just seem to have a lot of personnel. One of their backup offensive linemen transferred out. A lot of personnel questions, new coaching staff.
It's all on top of them being picked last in the SEC to begin with. Even if they're fully healthy, which that's SEC, but still, they're probably going to struggle in 2021 if everything's going right for them.
Yeah, their best offensive player, Kevin Harris, the running back, he hasn't practiced lately due to a back injury. So and Shane Beamer keeps coming out and saying like none of these injuries are a big deal, but at some point like you got to have some dudes to win games. So that game still concerns me if I'm East Carolina because of their experience on the offensive line and defensive front. They got some really good pass rushers defensively, but that's a winnable game, man. I mean, that if you want to have South Carolina in your building in a year where you can win the game, this is the year. I mean, they're very gettable at home. ECU fans need to show up for that game because that is a major opportunity. I don't care how down the program is. If you beat an SEC school, it's going to make regional headlines, if not national headlines. So it's a chance really for East Carolina, not looking past App because that's a really, really important and difficult game. But that's going to be a crucial home opener as well.
All right, Igoe, before we get into the details on this South Carolina quarterback story, I see that they've added someone to the active roster. So what does that mean for a college team? Like, how many players does East Carolina have, do you think, that's not on the active roster? I didn't know it was like NFL where you had to have 53. What is it for college?
I think in camp it's 105. You can have 105 in camp, and then maybe 125 total. I don't know the exact number once the season begins, but you have a camp roster, and then you can expand it once the season gets going as well. So, I don't know. That situation with South Carolina is strange, but you can add guys to the active roster if you're not at your limit.
So, Zeb Nolan started the season as a graduate assistant for South Carolina. So, this is it's kind of like if Lincoln Riley, when he was at Texas Tech with Mike Leach, right? Like, he was, a quarterback coming up, but then realized he was never going to play. We got right into coaching. This would be a situation like that. So they had an injury. Luke Doty, is that how you say it? Sprained his foot in practice last week. They were down to Jason Brown, Connor Jordan, Colton Gauthier. So they had 3 QBs. They add Zeb Nolan to the mix, to the rotation at quarterback. And this was a guy that was not planning on playing football in 2021. It shows you how dire their situation is right now at QB.
When have you ever heard of a grad assistant going to, one day he's coaching, the next day he's out there practicing with the quarterbacks? I saw a picture of him. He was wearing number 25. So
it's one thing to just do it at line, like special teams.
Yeah.
But quarterback,
you just got to roll.
It reminds me of the emergency goalie in hockey,
where they pull a guy out of the stands basically and just put him in.
But I saw a quote too from Beamer where he was like, he did play at, I think it was North Dakota State behind Trey Lance, as a backup. But Beamer was like,
he's solid.
We won't hesitate to play him. I mean, he's ready to go. I'm like, he was a grad assistant for a reason. Like, I mean, you don't just bring your grad assistant and add him to the depth chart for no reason. I mean, you look at their quarterback room, Doty, with him out, their number one quarterback right now is the transfer Jason Brown from St. Francis University, I think.
Sure.
And the backup is a walk-on, Connor Jordan, and Colton, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he's a freshman. So, I mean, they need,
somebody's got to throw to the receivers at practice.
If Doty's out, they need somebody.
Yeah.
Luckily for them, they open with Eastern Illinois. I don't think Tony Romo's coming back, so they should be able to win that game. But after that, I mean, they go to East Carolina. I think they have Georgia the following game. So
I'm sure it doesn't get easier.
No, it's. I was on their radio station the other day, a radio station in South Carolina, and they're concerned about the ECU game. They see it as a game where it's not a gimme. They got to go on the road. They know it's going to be a tough environment against a pretty experienced team in terms of what's coming back. So
upper deck's going to be rocking.
The upper deck's going to be packed.
Bill Clark Holmes.
The lower bowl will probably be like 50% full, but at least the upper deck will be packed.
They have a bunch of passed out kids in the boneyard. But no, that's going to be exciting. I asked, while we're on the subject, I asked Billy Weaver this earlier. How important is week 1 against App State when it comes to the crowd for week 2 against South Carolina? Is it a big deal, Igoe? Do they have to win? Do they have to play close? Can they lose by a couple touchdowns and still have the energy for week 2? How important is week 1?
I mean, I think it is. I think it's important. I don't think it's going to take it from 40,000 to 50,000.
I was kind of thinking from a negative stand. How low? How much could it hurt?
I mean, if you go out there and you get smacked by App, then I think a lot of fans on the fence would not come. Whereas if you go out and win that game, or even have a great showing, and fall short, I think you're going to have a lot of those people show up. You look at it on paper, right? You got 12,700 season tickets. Hopefully that number gets to 13,000. The Student Power Club, I think, is 9,000 or 10,000, so let's say that's 23,000. Then the 6,000, so that's around 29,000, 30,000 tickets accounted for. South Carolina's allotment, you would assume they'd bring 3,000 to 5,000, and then how many single game tickets can you sell? I mean, you're probably at least over 40,000 for that game, and if you win the App State game, maybe you get closer to full capacity. The problem is that noon start, I think, is going to take a couple thousand away. If it was a 3:30 kickoff or 6 p.m. kickoff, I think you would have close to a full house.
Yeah.
But it's hard to sell that many season tickets or single game tickets when your season ticket sales aren't that high.
True. They're trying to get to 13 at the end of this week?
Yeah, 13, which, is an improvement considering the pandemic, but it's still not where they need to be. That means if you have 13,000 season tickets plus the Student Power Club, you're a little over 20,000. Then you're having to sell, 17,000 single tickets every single home game just to get to 40,000. So I just think realistically, you're probably looking at more 35,000 for home games this year for most home games. And then hopefully, if the momentum from the early part of the season builds, if you go out, let's say you beat App and you beat South Carolina, how many more people jump on board and buy season tickets for the last 5 games?
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors here. He had an article earlier today that's right up my alley. Projected ECU starting lineup on offense, week 1 against Appalachian State.
I knew when I clicked publish that you were going to enjoy that article.
Love a depth chart. Love a projected starting lineup. I was all over it. You can check that out right now at Hoist the Colors. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and talk about what's been going on at ECU football practice and what the rest of the week looks like as far as practice schedule goes, leading up to a big Saturday, Media Day, Meet the Pirates, equipment sale, scrimmage number 2. Saturday,
yeah.
Big day on Saturday. Talk about that and what's been going on when we return after this.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Hi, this is Karen Staten with AG Home Solutions. Thinking of remodeling? We are your one-stop shop for all your home design needs. Our AG Home Solutions design team has over 25 years of experience. Need a new bathroom or kitchen? Looking to upgrade your cabinets, countertops, tile, or flooring? The Design Center is open to all homeowners and contractors. Call us for an appointment. Visit agshomesolutions.net and mention Pirate Radio to receive a $100 discount through the end of August. AG Home Solutions, turning your remodeling dreams into reality.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single-game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Amanda Houston, and when it came time to make the game-winning play for relaxation at our house, I made the right call to Jamie Lang and Carolina Hardscapes. Jamie and his team built the backyard oasis of our dreams with a beautiful custom paver patio, outdoor lighting, and fireplace. Make your backyard incredible and call Carolina Hardscapes today at 364-1201 or visit their showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Suck. Go Pirates!
Hey Birdland, do you want access to every Orioles home game in August and September? Now you can with O's Unlimited. For just $40 per month, you can have month-long access to every game in August and September. The O's Unlimited Pass will give you general admission standing room only access throughout Oriole Park, including the flag court and Budweiser roof deck. To purchase your O's Unlimited Pass, visit the Orioles Ticket Marketplace at Orioles.com/tickets or the MLB Ballpark app and have your tickets delivered instantly within the app.
Pirate Radio is the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or you can go online at qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into the show. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you here on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Coming up at the end of this segment, we'll make you a winner. Open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. We'll talk some Pirate football, but real quick, I just saw this from Bovada. Which NFL head coach will be the first to leave his position this offseason? Interesting wording. Doesn't say fired. He could step down. There are two favorites, both in the same division. Matt Nagy with the Bears and Mike Zimmer with the Vikings are both plus 700. That's the lowest odds there. Zach Taylor with the Bengals at plus 800, followed by Vic Fangio. I go at plus 900. Do you see a scenario where, well, sure, I guess you do, where he doesn't survive the 2021 season?
Absolutely. New GM. He's got to win or he's gone. I mean, it's that simple. They gave the GM, I think, a 6-year deal because he very well may need to blow it up and bring in his own coach and quarterback. But, you know, this is the last year where they have a ton of their best defensive players on the last year of their contract or on 1-year deal. So they've kind of gone all in on his defensive side. And we'll see if it works. He has never won a game in September as a head coach. And this year they have a very easy September schedule. So I could see if they get off to a poor start against a weak schedule, he could be fired by the end of September, honestly.
Wait, so how long has he been there?
2 years.
The Broncos have been 0-4
each of the last 2 years.
God, well,
maybe
I mean
0-3.
Yeah,
with a canceled game or something. But yeah.
And then, but last year we were talking about the injuries earlier, and I said I was going to bring it up with you. Von Miller went down preseason.
Yeah,
I looked it up. Sutton played one game.
Played the first game towards ACL at the first play of the second game.
Wasn't there other players that were out before the season even started?
Oh yeah, they lost All-Pro defensive tackle Jarrell Casey. Couple other guys.
It was over before it started.
AJ Bouye, who's now with the Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, they got hit hard with injuries like right at the start of the year. So we'll see. I'm optimistic about the defense and still not sold on the quarterback, even though they did look like the best team in the NFL this past weekend.
All right, you wanted to address that. We did. We can now move on.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, I was joking because preseason is a joke. And
hey, man, good to be excited about something, though.
But I was not excited at all about the season until I watched the game. Drew Lock hit an 80-yard bomb to KJ Hamler. Patrick Surtain, PS2 had a pick six. So
yeah, pick six for the.
I mean, their corners. They've got Patrick Surtain, Bryce Callahan, Kyle Fuller. And who's the guy that was always hurt with the football team?
Oh, was it Darby?
Yep, and Darby. So they got 4 starting cornerbacks.
And fantasy folks love Williams, Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams looked really
from
good
North Carolina.
So
I want to roster him.
They honestly have a great team. They just have Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater
and Vic Fangio.
So I mean, like, I can't think of a more boring head coach. I mean, if he wins, I'll take it, but he's not winning.
Scott Service. Why do all your teams? What's the guy from? Who's the Michael Malone?
Michael Malone's pretty hype.
Yeah, he'll get hype, I guess. You got some boring coaches though, I will say. All right, Mike Houston, not boring. How about from an injury standpoint with the Pirates, Steven? Noah Henderson coming off an injury, trying to get back into to playing shape. I want people to sign up VIP, go to Hoisted Colors, check out your article. So I don't want to go over the whole thing, but is Noah Henderson in your projected ECU starting lineup?
He's not.
Due to just he's not quite ready yet?
I mean, he very well might be if he keeps progressing, but I think right now
it'll be a bonus.
If they go into the season, I think he'll play a lot. Shank showed last year and the year before that he's not afraid to rotate it at offensive line. But I think if you're the coaching staff, you're still wary of how much do you trust a guy coming back from a long-term back injury or whatever. So I think you maybe roll with, the 2 tackles right now, probably Bailey Malovic and Justin Chase. But I think Noah Henderson will get some time as long as he stays healthy. And the good thing is he stayed out there the first few weeks of camp, hasn't really shown any issues with it.
We have seen a major change in college football. There used to be an injury report. I don't know if that was mandated or not.
For ECU, I think they just did it for the media.
It used to be, I think even before you kind of got into it, Stephen, like during the Holtz era, it was pretty detailed. and they would update it every week, and it was something we could go by. And then it got to the point where if a guy was out for the year, he'd be on the injury report, and that's it. And now I don't even know if we get anything at all.
Early, Ruff and McNeil, we got questionable, probable, doubtful, out, like NFL style.
Yeah.
And then I think towards the end of his tenure, we ended up getting more just out. And then Scotty Montgomery, it turned into just guys out for the year. They were listed as out.
Yeah.
And that was it. And, if it's not mandated,
why would you do it?
Why would you do it? I mean, I don't blame any. It is a personnel thing. If you're a coaching staff trying to prepare for a game, you look at the personnel you're going to face. You look at where they're likely to line up, because all that is important when you're in the box and you're calling out who's on the field. Hey, they got 5 DBs, or they got this guy at this position. Like, all that is important. If you know who's out,
there's no benefit to putting it out.
There's no benefit
at all.
I mean, to be quite honest, for us in the media, we would like to know.
No benefit for the team.
But then for the team, from a strategic standpoint, it changes how you prepare. Now, it's all meaningless once the ball's kicked off, but in terms of going into a game and your pregame prep, it does matter.
On that note, what do you know right now as far as the health of this ECU football team?
I think they're pretty healthy. I mean, I think they got some guys who have been in and out. They've had a few guys with concussions or, normal camp stuff. I haven't heard of anything significant, and from being out of practice, have not noticed anybody significant missing an extraordinary amount of time. Tyler Snead and Sean Bailey both missed last week due to some stuff, but they're back. They were back at the start of this week. Josiah Hatfield, I think he was banged up a little in the scrimmage, so he was out Monday when we were out there, but I don't think it's a long-term deal. So, knock on wood, they've been fortunate as far as avoiding that, big camp injury that seems to happen to some teams. We've seen it in the past. Kurt Benkert, that was on game week? Or right before game week in 2015, and he was just running around in practice and took a wrong step and tore his ACL. So, you never know going into to the season or finishing up camp how to play out, and that's why you got to have depth.
I go the Braves and Ozzie Albies, and a lot of those guys are killing it right now. But Ozzie Albies is a little guy. You can't really see it in his baseball uniform, but they talk about how powerful and strong he is in his compact body. And yesterday, looking at Tyler Snead, we know his height. He's a short guy.
He's listed at 5'7", might be 5'5".
But, he is well put together.
Oh, he's jacked, yeah.
Yeah, pound for pound, you always hear that phrase. Legitimately, if he was 3-4 inches taller, he'd be all over draft board. He looks like a grown man in a kid's body, I guess.
It is a shame, because if he was 5'10", he would definitely be an NFL pick or an NFL signee. You see so many of those slot guys in the NFL that work out, like Julian Edelman, etc. But most of those guys are Cole Beasley, but most of them are closer to 5'9", 5'10". Tyler's he's so slight of stature, and I'm not trying to knock on him. That's just kind of the fact of the imagination. I really wonder how NFL teams will evaluate him, because as far as his style of play and his ability to get open in his hands, all those are elite. I just wonder if he's almost too short for NFL scouts. I would love to see how big Cole Beasley is, because he kind of reminds me of him, because he was speaking of, he just popped up on TV, but he was a menace at SMU for many of the same reasons.
And who knows how much you can trust this, listed at 5'8".
Yeah, so if Cole Beasley can do it at 5'8", Tyler Snead I think could do it, even if he's 5'6". We've seen Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
Other guys. There's a role for a guy that has elite short space quickness and ability to get open in the NFL. So
and those guys are tough to tackle, and Tyler Snead has shown that ability too.
Oh, he's just good in every facet of the game. So I really do think his game will translate to the pros. It's just a matter of whether he gets a shot.
Steven, did I see during a VIP chat you were asked who will have the third most receptions? Was it yards or receptions?
Receptions. And it was a tough question.
Third most receptions for ECU this season. All right, Chandler, off the top of your head, who would you say? And we're going to assume Snead and CJ are 1-2?
Yeah.
You don't have to, but that's what I'm assuming.
I'm between Amatosho and Hatfield.
Okay. That's probably where I would have been going. And I don't know if Steven's trying to be like, hey, I'm the smartest guy in the room. if this doesn't hit, it doesn't matter. But if it does, I can brag about it. Or if Steven really believes his answer, and your answer was...
I don't even remember. I think it was Josiah Hatfield.
Oh, I thought you said Shane Calhoun.
No, somebody else said Shane Calhoun.
Oh, crap. I had a great setup for that.
I think I said Hatfield or Calhoun. Because I think Audio Matosho, to me, like, we've heard so much about him until he goes out and does it in a game.
That was so funny that you were, like, taking away about what you said.
Legit, when you
and then I had the wrong guy.
When you brought up the question, I'm like, who did I even answer for that? I want to say I said Hatfield or... Maybe I said Hatfield or Calhoun.
Okay, Calhoun was listed there, and...
I know I did not say Omatosho.
I know you did not either. I was surprised. Not really surprised. I just wasn't thinking tight end, to be honest with you, because it's been so much of a non-proven commodity for East Carolina's offense.
The one thing that I really liked about the scrimmage the other day that I saw was on 3rd down and short, or 3rd and medium, Harold Naylor's one of his first...
Under center. Was he under center?
No, he was in the shotgun.
Damn.
One of his first reads on 3rd down was Shane Calhoun. How many times have we seen ECU go to the tight end in a 3rd down situation? Not since Bryce Williams.
2007, Devon Drew.
Basically right.
No, that's good. And you think he's going to be a part of the offense. I'm cool with that answer if that is legit, if that could possibly be. And you know what? I like both of those candidates because we were missing out on some Josiah Hatfield in 2020.
Speedster.
You know, the one thing that worries me about Hatfield, and I think I may have said him, is he's more of a big play guy rather than a volume catch guy.
Shirley, you all right?
Sorry.
Okay, all right. She's really enjoying the show.
I thought she was disagreeing with me for a second, but no, he's more of a big play guy. Omatosho, kind of the same way. Like, I don't know if he's going to be a huge catch guy.
Yeah.
But Calhoun, I can see doing some damage underneath. So I really don't know, man. I really think it's going to be a big drop-off from Snead and CJ.
Kind of like we saw, I guess, with... all right, here we go. Who will be our third? Hovis Hatfield. Who will be our third? Hatfield or Calhoun. So you gave an or. Igoe's now like the ECU depth chart. Or
I mean, to be honest,
the interesting thing was me seeing Calhoun even listed because I didn't even think that was a possibility.
But who else could it be? I mean, you go like Omatosho is the obvious answer because he's supposed to.
But you're right. He's going to be like a 3 for 80 guy or whatever, or
and
2
Hatfield,
for 45.
I see is the same way.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I think it's going to be Snead with a bunch, CJ with a lot, and then a bunch of guys with like.
Here's one for you.
20 catches at season's end.
Keaton Mitchell.
Now that's a good. Honestly, I mean,
I don't believe it, but
if you go with a running back, I mean, I think those guys are going to get 3 to 4 catches a game.
Yeah. Yeah. If they do that, then I'll have them.
Yeah.
Now you're saying combined, or that's the problem. They're going to split the catches.
I mean, I saw a lot of short passes on Saturday. If they stick with that game plan, you could see the running backs get a lot of catches.
A lot of talk, Igoe, and again, I was not around, so I'm just basing it off of Hoist the Colors and others that I guess the offense struggled. Is that fair to say?
I would say the backup offense struggled.
Okay.
The first team offense I thought looked fine. Now the running game was not great, but they also didn't run Rajay and Keaton a lot. And
good.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Antwan Staley was on earlier, and we're talking about McCaffrey not playing, and he said, "Well, you don't need to run these running backs in preseason games.
What's the point if you know what you have?"
Now, Rajay and Keaton Mitchell have only played one season, but we've seen enough of them to know that we don't need to see a ton of them during scrimmages, getting their brains beat in for no reason.
Give them enough work to stay ready and to be used to contact. But there's just no need, especially with the poundings running backs take. You got to develop depth in the room, so you give those guys a lot of work. And Joseph McKay, Asa Barnes, and some of those other guys, Macy O'Donnell, got a lot of work.
They need the work.
They need the work to get ready. So, like, a lot of people freak out about the offense didn't look good. Well, first off, they were missing 2 key linemen, Sean Bailey and Trent Holler. And with Fernando Fry playing guard with Bailey out, your backup center was Grant Copeland, a walk-on. So, like, your second and third team, you had a second-year walk-on playing. He's got a chance to be a good player in a couple of years, but a lot of that has to, that takes away from your offensive line, and then you got moving parts of running back, moving parts of receiver. So there was just a lot of different things going on with the offense. So, yeah, they didn't look comfortable. The backup quarterbacks didn't look comfortable, but at the same time, I'm not really concerned. ECU's defense throws a lot at those quarterbacks. So they're kind of learning quickly, and I think if you threw Mason Garcia or Alex Flynn out there with the first-team offense, they would be a little more comfortable.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Let's take another time out. As we go to break, let's open up the booty bag and make somebody a winner on this Tuesday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. Shirley, what are we giving away today?
Let's see. Let me give away, how about a $25 gift card to ENS Hemp Company?
All right, ENS Hemp Company on the line, $25 gift card. What caller are we looking for?
I'm going to go with caller 8.
Caller 8, 317-1250. We'll be back with more Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Encore GX and save over $2,650 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit qualityequip.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelms and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Pirate Nation, the newest sports bar is Quarters Bar and Grill, offering gourmet burgers, hot dogs, and wings with unique flavors Greenville has never seen. Pirates like to drink too. Quarters Bar and Grill offers a selection of 10 beers on tap and over 50 different craft beers. Come check us out at Quarters Bar and Grill, open Wednesday to Sunday, 11 to 11, located at the shopping center next to Krispy Kreme. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and be on the lookout for Quarters Cash hidden around downtown Greenville. Quarters Bar and Grill, the plunder never tasted so good.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. And if you have a dream of making a backyard patio fireplace or some pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. Or you can stop by the Carolina Hardscapes outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes. And congratulations to Lonnie Kinker of Chesterfield, Virginia. Picked up a $25 gift card to E&S Hemp Company. Are you one who has been waiting before trying CBD? E&S Hemp is the area leader in CBD, and they want to educate you on how their products work. Get relief from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD today at E&S Hemp on Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue, or online at eshempcompany.com. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Big win for the Kink. Congratulations, Lonnie. We got a few minutes left to go with Stephen Igoe. Stephen, what you looking forward to seeing at practice this week? Where are we? When do we get to app preparation? Are we there yet?
Sunday.
Sunday begins?
Well, I guess technically Sunday is off, but I mean,
not that they're not already looking at app, but
yeah, the coaches will officially really dive into app Sunday once they conclude the scrimmage. And so this is the last week of camp. Class starts Monday, and then really next week app prep begins, because you got to remember it's a short week. Thursday game. So
let's go Ruffin McNeil style.
Sunday will be a Monday. No. Sunday will be a Tuesday. Monday will be a
Wednesday.
Tuesday will be a Thursday. Wednesday will be a Friday.
And then Thursday's your Saturday.
Thursday's your Saturday. Man, he used to run through that every press conference, and it was amazing.
Yep, he had it figured out. We were just trying to keep up. That is exciting, Stephen. This is the last Saturday with no football, because week 0 begins the 28th.
What's the week 0 schedule looking like? Any good games?
Garbage.
Any acceptable games? Like, I feel like at least East Carolina Marshall would have been a pretty watchable game, even if you're a college football fan.
There's a Big Ten matchup involving Tony Peterson.
Well, that's enough.
Is that acceptable?
I love watching Chase Hayden run in Tony Peterson's offense.
Nebraska at Illinois.
I mean, that to me is a good game.
Okay, 1 o'clock on Fox.
It's not a good game, but it's a game that I'll watch. And to be quite honest, that is quite an attractive lineup, considering that it's the first week of football.
Strong disagree.
UConn at Fresno State. I mean, you're not looking to see what Randy Edsall will get done.
I guess.
What year is this for Randy Edsall at UConn?
Combined, or
his second time around?
I don't know. They didn't play last year, so you can't count that. I wonder if he got a bonus for playing week 0. I'm imagining he did. UConn at Fresno State. Hawaii at UCLA.
It's an interesting game.
Chip Kelly needs to do something this year, right?
Yeah, I think they made strides last year, though.
Okay.
Now, you want to talk about a rivalry. When I used to play NCAA and I had UTEP, there was not a bigger game on my schedule than New Mexico State. I mean, that was a true rivalry, UTEP and the Aggies of New Mexico State.
I got a problem with this one, though, Igoe.
It is on...
It's on Bally Sports / Flow Football. Don't know what that is.
Is Flow Football a subsidiary of Flow
Sport.
or whatever the heck
Flow Sports, yeah.
Where the subscription is like $39.95 a month.
And then San Jose State went undefeated in league play last year. They will take on Southern Utah 10 o'clock on CBS Sports Network.
I mean, yeah, overall you're right. The only game I'll be watching is probably Neb at Ill.
Yeah, and that is the early one, 1 o'clock on Fox. Week 1, on the other hand, we got some doozies, some great matchups. We'll break that down once we get closer to it. You want to look at them, Steven?
For a second, I thought it said Charlotte SC, but it does say Charlotte, North Carolina for ECU and App.
St. Francis. Is that the school you were talking about a moment ago?
Yep.
All right, they play at Eastern Michigan. That sounds fun. What is the, let's see, Saturday, we got Friday games.
UNC, Virginia Tech, that is an interesting game.
Hey, we got week 1, Saturday, college football off because ECU plays on Thursday. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to watch football all day.
Holy Cross at UConn. I mean,
I'm going to take UConn.
It's going to be a big game for the Huskies.
And then Georgia Clemson, I guess the headliner, the Duke's Mayo Bowl Part 2.
Some pretty good games. Texas Tech, Houston. It says in Houston, Texas. I guess they're playing at the Texans Stadium.
Reliant. Is it still called that?
Don't know. I think it's NRG.
Yeah, you're probably right. Sunday, Notre Dame at Florida State, and then Monday Night Football, Louisville, Ole Miss.
2 overrated teams going at it, Notre Dame and Florida State. Can't wait.
Igoe, you're going to join us on Tuesdays, I believe. Are we still going to do picks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, that's half the reason I come.
All right.
Just to beat you.
Good, bad, ugly, and picks on Tuesdays on Pirate Radio Live.
I think you missed Blake Harrell's comments about good, bad, and ugly. Apparently the defense has a review where they do the good, bad, and ugly as well, so we'll have to get his take.
Interesting.
After every game.
Thanks for hanging out, Steven. Check out hoistthecolors.net. Anything else to plug?
No, well, actually, yes. We have a 75% off deal running right now on Hoist the Colors through tomorrow night at midnight. If you're a new subscriber, you can sign up on Hoist the Colors. 75% off. That's less than $3 a month. And less than $25, I believe, or just over $25 for an entire year for VIP content, recruiting scoop, got a potential big commitment coming up this week, and a ton more, practice reports, all that stuff. So sign up now.
Shirley, do we need to take another break? Let's do it right now. We'll come back, wrap up Pirate Radio Live. Thank you, Steven. Tell us later I said, Waza! And we will be back with you after this.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482. BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
The Rick House, Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar, has great specials throughout the week, like $10 Tuesdays. Get 8 traditional wings and a draft beer for just $10. Wednesday night is date night, 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Friday is smokehouse night with the best ribs and brisket around. Saturday is Italian night featuring all of our made-from-scratch pastas along with 2 glasses of wine. And on Sunday is the legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust one-topping pizza for only $12. And now you can have the stuffed crust as an add-on to any large hand-tossed pizza. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
UBE and PirateWear.com has all your back-to-school needs and is the place to shop for students of all ages. They carry ECU notebooks, binders, and backpacks, as well as umbrellas and rain jackets for that Eastern North Carolina weather. And don't forget about their textbook department, where you can rent, buy, or sell your books year-round. And they also price match. And visit their social media pages, where there's almost always a Win It Wednesday going on throughout the school year. Stop by UBE or PirateWear.com, where there's new shipments arriving daily with lower prices than their competitors. Proud to be serving the Pirate Nation for over 50 years.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? You can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. You can subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archive. Speaking of our podcast, we've got the Pirate Radio Podcast Players Lounge editions coming up in just a couple of seconds here. We've got ECU quarterback Holton Ehlers and safety DJ Ford, followed by wide receivers CJ Johnson, Tyler Sneed, and running back Rajay Harris. That's all coming up next. Clip.
Sounds awesome. If you missed it, make sure you check it out. Some great conversations with the Pirate players. All right, thanks for tuning in today. Man, other than a very small amount of baseball talk and some NASCAR talk with Weaver, exclusively football on today's show. It's going to be that way from now until the end of the calendar year and beyond. That is a beautiful thing, including daily Bud Light ECU reports, brought to you by Bud Light. Pick up Bud Light today at your favorite retailer, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, the official beer of the ECU Pirates. We'll have a Bud Light ECU report on Wednesday with Bryce Williams and hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick, ECU offensive coordinator, what he had to say at practice earlier this week. Shirley, Chandler, we will see you fine folks Wednesday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live.